Here we go. Welcome to episode 21 of the OurTeam podcast. It's new season time, so always a fun episode. It's the easiest episode for us to do because I don't need to put any content together. Also, it is like the first non-controversial podcast we've had in 2 weeks, maybe.
You say that now.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to see how it goes. I'll come back to that. Let's see how it goes. Right, let's introduce the guests. Josh, how you doing?
You said the guest. I'm not a guest.
Oh God. Oh, you just had to do that.
Literally
You
just
just
said
had
notes
to do
and
that.
Everything. He made notes, and that's how we responded to his intro.
Bro, you just said guest, and I know you called JD that too. That's why I'm looking. I'm like, I'm doing fine. How's
Thank you.
everybody doing?
Thank you. I hope you guys are spamming L's right now. That was the visual representation of Josh just watching the lights.
What did you just say just now?
Was you watching the lights?
You know, you talk about Jacob having awkward intros, but just it can't be top.
Yeah. Ludes, are you a guest?
I mean, I'm whatever I need to be at any given time, realistically.
Yeah.
So
good.
sure,
All right.
why not? I'm a guest. I don't care.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm playing 2K, so worse than normal, but it's cool. I've
Isn't
been playing
that normal?
Atomic Heart. No, I've been playing Atomic Heart all week, dude. It's so good. You got to talk about how that game is just fire and not Russian propaganda.
Yeah.
Dude, can I say that flower really brings out the color in your eyes? It's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
It's nice.
Thank you. As a Daisy of Love streamer, I felt it necessary to put this here.
okay, good. Yeah, at least there's context behind it. It's not just random.
She
Mojo's
hasn't followed
back.
me back yet, so
Mojo's back. How you doing, bro?
Man, what is good, man? What's good, everybody? I'm glad to be back after 2 weeks. I'm gonna tell you something. COVID is a mug. It seems like it's been back to back stuff, Jazz, right, man? You know what I'm saying? But
You can go
we
for
here.
Yeah.
We here. It's crazy though. The last couple of weeks that I've been gone, it seems like all hell's broke loose. We got people, in the community going after each other, which that's common, but it's been wilder than ever. You know what I'm saying? We got other people going after content creators, calling them cheaters and whatnot. Ever since I've been gone, all hell's broken loose. You know what? I came here to restore order up in this piece. What the hell is going on with y'all out here?
That
It's
fresh
just
cut
occurred to
clean,
me
Matt.
that Matt
Hey,
has got
I
2
did.
weeks to get off his chest.
Yes, man. And thank you so much. You talk about
He
me,
battled
Josh.
COVID and came back with the fresh cut. Yes, sir.
I mean, that's what I do. Well, I do cut hair, but I was gonna say, look at you. The waves are in rotation, my brother. I see you. I see you.
Me a little son.
Yeah, he got the lather right. Look, I see a few forks, but
Sheesh. All right. We have a debut. Elevate. How we doing, man?
What is going on, everybody, man? That's good to be on the show. It's humbling, actually. And congratulations for the logo, man. A lot of you guys know me for the trophy case guide and for the Elevate vibes in the stream. So we're here, man. We're here to mix it up.
Big dubs.
Solid
Big
intro.
dubs.
Solid. No pressure, JD. We've had probably, I think Elevates was about an 8, Matt's was a 10, Luz was a 7, Josh was a 1.
a 7 is
So you're
wild.
guaranteed at least. How you doing, JD?
I mean, as long as I talk, I've done better than Josh managed to do. So,
Thanks.
yeah, I'm
Thanks.
good. I'm excited to be back on here. Seasonal outing on the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
every
down for it, man.
season.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too. Co-host Josh, you good? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, co-host
Okay.
Josh is good.
Yeah, good.
Oh my God!
What
Hey,
the-
whoa! Hold on. Can we do something in the chat in the comment section right now? Can we spam dubs for Jazz for receiving the logo? Come on now, one time for the one
Dubs
to
in
the
the
two.
chat
What
for
it do,
Jazz,
Jazz? Come
man.
on, Jazz, man. Let's
Jazz,
go.
man.
Speed.
Congratulations, man.
Yes, sir. Jazz. Logo
You will
Jazz,
never
man.
have a
Jazz
calm
take over.
unlimited game ever from this point.
Bro, it's
I mean,
already
all the
been
time.
bad. It's already been bad. It's been bad. I'll speak on it really quickly. I know logo isn't what it used to be, right? But it's kind of it's like it's as relevant as it is to you. You've got to kind of decide if it's important or not to you. And to me, it was important. I didn't realize until it kind of happened that it was important. But like, I'm not a content creator who's like trying to make it as a content creator, right? Like, I'm not out here trying to earn a living off this or be famous or get clout or any of that stuff. Like, my role is this. I just sit and have conversations with the community because I enjoy it. And for a podcast that has been as critical as it has been positive, arguably more so, And off the back of, the podcast we did last week, which I would say is our most negative ever, I'm sure everyone would probably agree with me. The fact that happened 5 days later, to me, did feel important. It really felt important in the moment that 2K have kind of acknowledged what we're doing as a community. They've acknowledged that unbiased conversation is okay, that criticism is okay. And, they're willing to put a light on that at times. So I think it was more significant than probably, if I was just out here trying to get a logo to boost myself. Like Ronnie asked me that question. I didn't even have an answer for him, to be honest. I kind of got stuck because there isn't really an upside for me, but it is amazing acknowledgement of our team and our brand and our community. So it did mean it meant a lot to me in that moment, but I didn't realize till it happened. And obviously I said what I said because I've been kind of saving that for that moment about what I've been doing for the last few months. So yeah, it was a nice moment. It was. And I think I might have baited Ronnie into coming on the podcast. So let's see if he comes through. Before we get into content and stuff, like and subscribe. I am that much of a YouTuber to remember that. That's about as far as it goes.
Good.
We also have a Patreon. Shout out to our Patreons. As always, I'll put them up on the screen now. It's just over $1 a month. That's the lowest level one you can sign up to. You get to join our Discord, and I will say this genuinely. I think some of the best conversation about this game right now is going on in that Discord. Ludez, Josh, and Matt can see it. It's a really interesting place to be. But you can help us build the podcast, put questions forward, all of that stuff that we will discuss, and we'll be discussing some of the kind of topics from our Patreons later today. So basically, just go sign up. Right. That's that. We have season 5. It is here. Should we do first impressions? Because I've got a technical breakdown of absolutely everything that's dropped in this season.
Sure.
Yeah, start with a breakdown. I mean,
we'll do first impressions. I want to kick off with Elevate. What's your first impressions?
I mean, the main thing is that it shows that 2K kind of listens and does have some type of a pulse on the community and what we want. We've obviously been asking for reward cards in the modes for ages now. So that's something that goes to show. Let's see. There are things that I like to see and I think me and Ludez have something in common. We want I'm waiting for like a Brian Shaw card. Just cards that fill up squad builders, like my whole thing on Unlimited this year has been building like around a superstar. So like the Elton Brand Clippers, the Carmelo Anthony, the Denver Nuggets, Patrick Ewing Knicks, et cetera, whatever. So filling out those squads and not getting repetition throughout the year, that's something I'd still like to see. But as far as what we've seen the last couple of things, they've continued the 2-week grinds. They've added players to modes. So it's something that, they're listening.
When you say they've continued the 2-week grinds, what do you mean?
They said they've continued those 2-week events, right?
They haven't.
Well, we'll see on Monday.
They said
that's what the blog said. So I'm gonna trust that. But
I do have some info on that. Actually, I could enlighten people on that probably throughout this. JD, first impressions. I feel like it's going to be very different to Elevates, but let's see how this goes. It's going to be an interesting podcast. I'm here for it. Let's go.
I was excited, man. The database hit on Friday, and I got my eyes set on 3 guys. I was like, Billy Knight, Mike Bantam. Never heard of those dudes before that database, but I was like, I want these guys on my squad. And Benedict Mathurin. I was like, all right. Well, and we didn't see where those game modes or where they were going to be for the game modes. So I was like, all right, 4 o'clock comes. I'm going to see these 3 guys. I'm going to get them. It's going to be sick. Benedict Mathurin is 6 weeks away. And then Billy Knight and Mike Bantam are back to the RNG ways of like 3 years ago, I think it was first, or like a long time ago. And my excitement was instantly, absolutely just thrown away. And even today, we've already seen people on Twitter, the completed triple offline, 250 games, and they've not got whichever one of the dudes is in triple offline. They've not got Billy Knight, yeah. And I see that, and I'm just like, I wanted that card, and I thought there was going to be a way to get it, and it feels like we just regress back to, well, it's there if you can luck into it. If not, that's that. So I had 3 cards I wanted to get for me personally, and that excitement was kind of deaded quite quickly in the start of the season. But collector level was something that I've worked on today. I've got Opal Don Nelson, the coach.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, It's expensive. It's like 2.5 mil.
is.
Like, it's no joke, but
Is
we're
it
pretty
worth
rich
it?
out here, so it's fine. But yeah, so I did that. That's good. But yeah, the game modes themselves, man, struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle.
Co-host KillaJosh, just to answer your question. Yeah, he gives you out. He gives you out +8 speed. So yeah, that if you have Yao, he's definitely worth it. I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely.
Thanks for the question, co-host KillaJosh. Matt, what's your first impression?
That's funny. I'm sorry. My first impressions, I'll start off with Hero. Hero to me is undesirable. I'll be honest with you. I feel like already from the drop, I can name 2 point guards that I
Undesirable
already
is
like.
crazy.
Undesirable is the perfect word for a card that is what 6'5", 6'3" wingspan. I mean, yeah, he has the halves, he has some of the attributes, but I mean, come on, guys. He will be dated by the time, especially around late March when we get out of position players, if they decide to drop it. Anyways, I wasn't feeling that. However, when I saw the dev blog, it really looked good to see all the great rewards. As JD mentioned, we get Matherin, in 6 weeks. We got Bantam and Killer Billy Knight, which is apparently John Sr. You can't see him. Nobody's seen him. There's a guy right now with 250 wins plus, ain't seen the dang card. I mean, come on, what's really going on? And also concerning these rewards, I want everybody to look at me right now, and I don't want you to get it twisted. I don't want you to be bamboozled, led astray, run amok. Here's the thing about rewards. This should have happened already. It's great to see that we're getting rewards in 2K MyTeam. But the problem is that we should have received it in season 4, season 3, and instead of the recycled rewards that we were receiving before. So I just want to let everybody know and be abundantly clear on it that the rewards that we received should have happened already. We should have been done had it. I mean, yeah, it's great to see that we have rewards, but again, let us not be deceived or twisted. It should have happened already.
Nice take. Nice. Who's left? Who's
The
left?
2 gremlins, man.
Co-host KillaJosh, would you like to go next?
Yeah, my impression on season 5, it's honestly positive, and from the sense that I got to see a lot of people who are like, I got to see a lot of streamers up from like day 1 when season 5 dropped versus like when season 4 dropped. Like, you go on Twitch, you seen like 10, I'm not gonna say 15, 10 streamers streaming my team at least. So I think like in terms for the community, it's been like a positive reception of like what's happened. So I think everyone thinks this season is gonna be good. And me personally, I'm looking forward to grinding out this season. I'm not sure what I'm gonna go after first, but I'm excited to play for sure.
Cool. Appreciate it. Ludes.
All right. So
The 2
I'm gonna
gremlins is
hold.
crazy, by the way.
I'm gonna hold my reservations on the season for a little bit. Okay, so like it's starting out as a positive right now. I'm waiting to see the 2-week grind come back before I label this like an actual positive season, because like from my perspective as someone who honestly just doesn't play the game like hard enough to get all of these rewards from the actual modes. Personally, I preferred the 2-week grind system from last season than this. That's just me. Especially when the 2 best cards have a dynamic duo and they're both RNG, so you got to play like 5 million games to actually get them. Now that being said, once they bring the 2-week grinds, which they said they're going to, so they should, I think it'll be a lot better. It's a best of both worlds thing that I think is cool. I wish that what they should do is mode rewards and then only 2 2-week grinds with a catch-up week. That's what they should do. So like we should have the mode rewards, and then there should be the 2 2-week grinds with 1 week catch-up on each of them, because like if you're not sitting there constantly logged in for 2 weeks, like you're not going to get those cards, and that's trash, because all those cards last season are still good and still usable. I mean, they're all on my team, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the new cards we got, I love pretty much all of the cards that we got. Like we got
They are
level
cracked.
40 cards.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's not even just that they're cracked. Dude. We got a guy named Bimbo in here. Like Bimbo Cole
Cole's
is
crazy.
Bimbo Cole.
I know.
Does
and then we
anyone
got
know
a
who he is?
I do.
No.
I
You do?
actually have a few of his cards. I do, but he was
No.
no.
And then we got a dude named Eric Money. Like that's sick.
E-money.
Yeah, that's just an S tier last name. Straight up. It's fantastic. I guess Gary Trent's here, and Mark West. I think is Mark West out here. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, trash.
Josh Hart,
Matter.
don't forget him.
Yeah, I'll forget him immediately. Spencer Haywood's out here, which I've been asking for him to get a card for a while. Shout out to Spencer Haywood. He's smoke crack.
6'8" power forward, W.
Straight W. But then looking at the actual reward cards, like I just like the variety that we got, you know, like Mike Bantam and Billy Knight. Finally, they used those ABA licenses they paid for. Finally, took them long enough. Lou Hudson, no one cares about him, but he has a dope mustache. Like Monte Ellis is one of my favorite players of all time, so shout out to him, which means I will not get him from the Ascension. Chris Kaman's out here, which is dope. Chris Kaman is perfect. Like Chris Kaman is like, if you think of yourself as an NBA player and you're a divorced dad who plays adult rec league, like Chris Kaman is your favorite player. 100%. My man was balding since the minute he got in the league. I love Chris Kaman, dog.
You see how you said
Chris
Monte
Kaman,
Ellis is your favorite, one of your favorite players? Me and him have the same birthday. Fun fact.
Interesting. Monte Ellis is the man. He seems to be lacking on his social media presence, so he won't be my friend. But, you know, one day we'll change that. I am annoyed that they put Moses Malone on collector level because I'll never get him.
He's nice too.
I know, and he looks
that
really
1800
good.
already feels like a slog to get there. Like I don't even know if I'm going to get there by the end of the year. I might be there or thereabouts. Yeah,
I'm at like 1100 right now. Like there's still trophy pieces in my immediate future. That's how far behind I am right now. Tyler Hero looks trash. I just like don't care.
Undesirable.
I love how you've just given your thoughts on, like you've just completed the podcast. That's amazing. You can end off
speed run. I took a speed run real quick. You know.
All right. Well, it's been real, guys. We'll catch you guys next time.
But like right now, I think it's a W. But like I have to wait until we get those 1 or 2 week grinds to really say it's like a real definitive change. Because if they don't do that, then I kind of think it's actually a step back personally. But it just depends if you're a sweat lord or not.
Okay, you ready for my take?
I suppose.
Drum roll, please.
Spam shill in the chat because I love it. That's where I'm at right now. Let me tell you why I love it. Part of it is because I know more than others, which I'll fill you guys in on. The other reason is I made a conscious decision at the end of last season, right? If you looked at my Twitter, I played 128 games of Unlimited, didn't finish it. Got to the end of the season, realized I was miserable, actually. I actually realized I was miserable playing the game. Unlimited wasn't enjoyable. Gameplay wasn't enjoyable. I was forcing myself to do the worst part of this game in like 40-minute blocks. That's the best way to describe it. And going back to last year, when I kind of came back to content around like May, June, I started making videos again. It's because I was enjoying the game again. And the reason I was enjoying the game is I started to play it my way. I was like, I'm just going to focus on the things that I like doing, right? I like playing clutch time or whatever. Last year, I really enjoyed playing Unlimited, but I'm not enjoying it this year. So why am I forcing myself to play it to get 3 off badges at the end of it? Doesn't make any sense. So coming into this season, I'd already decided I'm just going to play whatever mode I want to play when I feel like playing. No more like hardcore grinding, no more hardcore chasing players. If I'm feeling burnt out, I'm not going to load up another game of Unlimited just so I can get to that next set of tokens and all of that. My whole mindset changed. I would say I've become a casual on the game in terms of my mindset. Like, I'm just going to load up, do what I want to do, and get off. Now, what's fortunate about what's just happened is it really syncs up with the decisions I've made, right? Because I can get, hypothetically, and this is hypothetical at the moment,
extra hypothetical,
I can get those 2 cards,
in
those 2 cracked cards in that duo, just by doing what I'm doing, right? I could choose to play clutch time and it might pop up on the wheel. I could choose to play TTO, it might pop up on the boards. Like, I don't need to go out my way and grind like side missions for XP or any of that stuff. Or like, you know, to get JaVale McGee, just spend 40 minutes in a fundamentals challenge trying to get rebounds or whatever. Like, I realized I took the fun out the game for myself. That's like, accountability is a big thing, like for me, when it comes to like gaming, especially with a game you're passionate about. Because we can sit here and go, I'm not getting the exact content I need to enjoy the game. But there is a choice within that as well, right? There's a choice in terms of what you're choosing to do in the game. Now, I guess the argument to this is I don't enjoy the gameplay, so should I be playing it at all? But the thing is, I do, in small doses, in the right modes. That's where I'm at right now.
Very
and I
specific.
can jump on in small doses, in whatever modes I want to play, and progress just as much as the next guy, right? That's the reality of things. So I like it. I like it. So let me clue you guys in on the 2-week thing, right? Because I actually asked about it. They are coming back. They will be coming back. So the phrasing is a little bit off, and they kind of said to me like we could have phrased it better, right? But it's actually true. Like what it says is true. They will be coming back, but the way it was written made it sound like it would be continuous, right? It didn't specify there would be a break. But actually, I like the fact that there's a break on that as well. They said it themselves. They dropped 500 cards, on Friday. There's a lot of grindable cards in there. There's a lot of sets to complete. We've got all the base sets. We don't need a 2-week grind now. And I actually think saving those things for when they're more relevant, because I wouldn't do it right now. If I'm being honest with you guys, I wouldn't do it. I would prioritize other things in the game. I'd be prioritizing the game mode cards or whatever right now. So I think they know that. They saw that and went, right, that's something we could just put on the burner for a few weeks, bring it back when everyone's bored or already has got the game mode cards or whatever, and then we can drop that back in whenever we want to. So the upside is it's for everyone it's definitely coming back, right? So it's not just gone. It's not like they put it in the blog and then just ignored it. It was an actual decision to go, right, we've just dropped way too much to do at once. So let's push this into the future a little bit. I'd love to get your thoughts on that first of all. So the 2-week grind thing, like, what's your thoughts on that, JD? You wanna start things off?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting like everybody else to see it on Friday because of the phrasing of the vlog, but I did E last season and Ray Allen. I didn't go for the Westbrook, but I did the first two, and that was good. I enjoyed it. I did it like last minute. I was one of those guys. I saw him on the database, and I was like, God damn, I've got to grind this out now. We'll go away for those guys. And the fact they haven't come back is, I'd like to have the option. I know a lot of people did really like those grinds in comparison to completing like 20 hours of a game mode.
Yeah.
And now it kind of feels like without the takeover back and the 2-week grind thing, it kind of feels like we've just gone back to where we were a couple of years ago in terms of just game mode rewards.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is a step back taking them out. They said they're going to come back soon or whatever, but for right now, I think people have been accustomed to those 2-week grinds. They've got, attached to those sort of way of grinding, the takeover grind specifically, do like 4 challenges, get a card, complete that whole set, you get a thing. I think people were excited for that. And yeah, going back to it just kind of feels like we've gone back to previous years.
Is it a bad thing to go back though? That's the question, right? Because everyone wanted these back, right? They wanted the game mode cards back.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask for the 2-week grinds to be removed, but like I said, they are probably coming back. But is it a bad thing to go back? That's the thing I'm kind of struggling with, because when we had a setup like this, like even when you look at like Terry and Ferry, right, those grinds, although they were completely ridiculous, the game mode as a whole was just way more hyped when those things were going on than Russell Westbrook was last week.
I think that was pandemic time though, wasn't it? I think that's
Exactly.
got a big part to play in it. I think the RNG is the one thing that's got me down bad, because like I've got the PTSD of like Splash playing his 2,000 games. I played like 500 games to Danny Ferry, and I never got to play with that card through no fault of my own. And now the 2 best cards are put behind that RNG wall again. And, people wanted that removed. And they did this season or this year, at the start of the year, when they had those 20-hour grinds for like Iggy and Lamar Odom. They were way OD, but at least there was a way. They needed to be toned down a little bit, but there should have been something a bit more accessible. But at least there was something. But now going back to just, if you don't luck into them, you're going to miss out on 2 of the best players in the game. That's where I'm struggling with it.
I don't think it's bad that the 2-week grind we didn't start the season with it, because I feel like you said, it would have been overwhelming. We did get a lot of cards this week, like to start the season. I think it would have been overwhelming. Like for me personally, I'd have been overwhelmed to be like, okay, I got to do 2-week grind. I got to grind unlimited. I got to grind limited. It would have been too much for me. And even though they did kind of repeat what they did in previous years, I feel like that was one of the good things about the previous games, like having grindable reward cards. So I don't think it's a bad idea that they went back to that whole style of MyTeam. I think it's actually pretty good for the game mode.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Josh is talking about. And to revert to what JD was speaking on concerning RNG, concerning going back to that pandemic style. Because here's the problem with it, guys. This is not the pandemic. This ain't 2K20. The gameplay is definitely not like 2K20. The gameplay is actually tremendously down, in my opinion. But that is my opinion. Listen, whenever you play 1,000 games, as JC2K several weeks ago said for Terry, 2,000, like Splash did and whoever else, that's crazy. Okay, everybody don't got it like that. There's people that has jobs, they have lives, they have kids, they have responsibilities. So everybody can't do that. I do want to say, concerning the 2-week grind, I'm glad it didn't show up because we have so much content, which is a dub, by the way. I'm loving the content, loving the rewards, and we got great things ahead of us. But with that being said, when we do go back to these 2-week grinds, one thing we must do, whether you're an offline player or online grinder, it does not matter. They need to reduce it by half. Like for the 30 triple threat games, I think triple threat offline games, that's crazy. 15 dominations is insane. I mean, for anybody, I go to sleep. You can't even really AFK, but you can just sleep, sleep on it. It's just nerve wracking. You know what I'm saying? 15 is wild. Yeah. Reduce it by, make it 7, make it 8, just on the offline. If you're online, you can reduce it just a little bit. I mean, I don't mind it online playing 15 triple threat online games. I don't mind, playing 8 unlimited, excuse me. But with that being said, everybody doesn't have that time. There's a lot of
bear in mind
it's
win as well. It's not just play.
Exactly. Yeah. Back in 2K20, if you can remember, we were all cooped in the house, wasn't doing much. So we had the opportunity to do that. 2K21, kind of the same thing when we was grinding for Terry and base shot 98, Danny Ferry. You know what I'm saying? I miss those days. I miss those grinds. However, a lot of people don't have that dog or the time to do it. So, hey, bless us with a little bit of RNGesus for this Billy Knight that we don't see, man. I feel for the guy on Twitter, okay, that played over 250 games, y'all. Hey guys, comment section.
That's crazy, man.
This is why that's insane, isn't it?
And it wasn't Rick's even. Like somebody loves offline more than Rick's. Like that's wild.
Exactly. So
guys, were we in lockdown then? Were we in lockdown Danny Ferry times and Terry times?
21.
I feel like it was like
it was coming out
after, right?
It was coming out of lockdown for sure.
Yeah, most of us weren't.
Because I think that one of the narratives is, the narrative I've heard non-stop about the RNG thing is we're not in lockdown anymore, but we weren't in lockdown then either. Like we were in lockdown doing the Kobe grind in 2K20. Like that's what I remember. That was way after that. Like way after that. Like a year had passed basically.
A year did pass. Well, year definitely did pass after.
Yeah, I mean we weren't out of it. You know what I mean? You could argue we're not out of it now, but it was
right.
I don't remember looking at that Terry grind and going, I've just got all day, every day to just play TT offline. And I remember I was like working, like I was busy at the time, which I wasn't, probably a year before that. So I don't know how much those two things sync up. There's no denying.
That's the thing is we're still kind of feeling the ramifications of like the pandemic era, like everybody has time to grind. And like, that's where like we got conditioned to the insane grinds and just like playing this game for freaking 20 hours a day to get, go Kobe or whatever. And we're still feeling that. So it's kind of weird because they take things away, they bring some things there, and then it's hard for them to find a balancing point where it's like just enough grind, where it's like kind of enticing you to go, but not too much to like burn you out. And there's such a big range of people like that play the game too. So I think it's a mistake actually to not have those 2-week grinds start off, because there are people that like to do those types of individual challenges and sit in fundamentals and just kind of do that, and that's kind of their thing, as opposed to like complete a mode, stuff like that. For me personally, I mean it's just about the player card. To me, if they entice me, if they fit into some type of squad builder, theme team or whatever, I'll grind. Like I'm gonna grind for freaking Chris Kaman because he fits into the Clippers squad builder. I don't like the RNG things, but at the same time I acknowledge that the RNG is like it's the hook. It's the hook factor. It's that, well, if I play one more game, it could pop up there. So you take that away and then you make it a chore rather than like that little hit excitement factor. So there's so many perspectives to look at it from.
Yeah, like with that, it brings a hell of a lot of FOMO as well. Let's keep it a buck, with the Terry grind, you know what I'm saying? The reason why a lot of people grind that because of FOMO. I mean, they wanted that card. That card was insane.
That's big.
I mean,
that's big.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, granted, I understand that with what Elevate saying, bringing the 2-week grind was kind of a mistake, or not bringing it, excuse me, was a mistake. I get that, and as for me being a grinder, I wouldn't mind it either way. Okay. But with all the content, with everything, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that would have fit in me personally, but again, FOMO, FOMO, that's what it is right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, with Billy Knight, I'm scared. because that is the craziest duo I've ever seen. I've ever seen. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Him and Bantam are crazy. Both get 30 hops. Both are cracked. They're already cracked as opals. So
Yeah, I was, that was the next thing we were going to go on to, is actually talking about these cards, because, I mean, he was good, right? Ray Allen was
still good.
good, yeah, like them both. When was the last time we saw a reward card or that was as good as either of these two?
I think Terry.
Bantam particularly.
I think like Terry.
Gauntlet
days.
Taco, probably.
Yeah, or level 40 Kawhi if you can include that in there. You know what I'm saying? That's a reward. So
I would say within like a game mode reward, it was probably Netalicky, right?
Oh yeah, I kind
Yeah,
of forgot about
that'll
that.
look
Yeah, last year,
Yeah.
right? In Unlimited Dark Matter.
you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of time we've gone without being hyped about getting a card out of a reward mode, because we've sat on this podcast, right? Let's be honest here. We've sat on this podcast and complained about recycled cards. We did it last season, right? That Hakeem was the reward. Like, I don't think anyone is interested in those cards. Like, I got a couple of them. I got Hakeem. Didn't even bat an eyelid. I was like, okay, cool. Would you rather load up? And I know what the ideal scenario is, by the way. I understand the irony of the question I'm about to ask. Would you rather load up chasing Pink Diamond Hakeem, knowing you'll get him,
Mhm.
or have a shot at Mike Bantam?
Like
Rather go with the random player,
Random,
always.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything that's new, I think, is an improvement. Anything that's been released in the past, I think is a negative, regardless if it's, guaranteed or not. Now, you could look at it from like a casual perspective. They would obviously prefer to get the guaranteed card, but realistically, the end of the game mode cards aren't for casual players. No casual player is playing 100 clutch time online games. Winning, I should say.
I
Like-
think I
You're
like
right.
the
You're
Mike
right.
Bantam. I'd rather Mike Bantam because I like the idea of like I could possibly get him like off guard, or like let's say I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna grind this game mode with the intention of getting him, but I'm not expecting him. And like I would be so hyped if, let's say, I just played a random game and then I get him, I'm like, oh shoot, like the feeling I'm gonna feel, like how I'm gonna feel after getting that card. I think it's just gonna be a way better feeling than if I was to get Hakeem, knowing I can get him once I get these games. You know what I mean?
But why not? What? Why not both, Jazz? You know what I'm saying? I think we
That was
brought
the
this up.
irony. Yeah, that was the irony. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jazz. I'm sorry.
I mean, technically,
Like,
right
what?
now we have both, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
technically speaking, we have both. I personally, I think a lot of it for me comes down to the fact that 2K broke my account in some capacity, so I will never get anything. So I just really don't care.
You still
Personally, I
got a
don't.
2K employee that nerfs your account. It's still there.
Yeah, they definitely do. I'm just convinced at this point. There's no way I've opened this many packs and still haven't gotten a high
Luz,
tier
what did you
card.
do to them, man? Like,
Yeah.
what was the moment?
I
What was
don't know,
the
man.
event that you just
I think
took
it's when
2K off?
when they copyright claimed my video 2 years ago, and I was talking about that guy who got the early copy on Twitter. I feel like since then, man, my pack odds have not been there.
I just think
Man.
it's the whole Oster tag situation. Honestly, I think you said it one too many times. It's like the boogeyman. You know what I mean?
He's on triple offline this season. He's on the board or on the
They-
ladder.
if they would have
Yeah.
just like given me what I asked for in the first place, like then I wouldn't have to talk about it so much. And,
Somebody
like,
give this man a dark
Luz.
matter Oster tag or something.
real,
No,
dude.
Luz is
Please.
going about it wrong. He's going about it wrong. You see me, you gotta sprinkle it in there. I talk about
there's
the Knicks
Knicks
every
fans
week.
that actively work for 2K. There's
Look,
not an Oster tag fan that
There's
actively works
Knicks
for
fans
2K.
that work for 2K. There's
There's
really
so
Knicks
many.
fans.
There's no way there's not with how much Knicks.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like they've been blessing me, man. We got a
Wait.
Josh Hart. I got Jericho
They're Nick
Sims.
fans.
Yeah, but like
Ruby
they gotta
Brunson.
be.
Ruby Brunson.
Ruby Brunson in that duo with Julius Randle. That's right. R&B duo.
Quentin
I
there's
got
Grimes
it.
is
no
nice.
way there's not a
Hampton
Knicks fan.
Grimes. Hampton Grimes. There you go.
How you say it again? Hampton.
Hampton Grimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
You thought
hey,
that was the
hey.
hell out of it.
No,
I'm just
see-
saying, dude. Like, we have a fan favorite set. We're gonna get a fan favorite set. They're going to do it incorrectly, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, fan favorite set starring Anthony Davis." Like, that's not what this set's for. Okay, that's what they're gonna do. What they need to do is put Greg Ostertag in there and Bull.
I mean, it
That's
makes
Luz
sense
the
because
fan
it's
favorite.
not.
Next
it's
week,
not
ask
fans'
Ronnie, man.
favorites, is it? You are.
It's
It's
Lou's
singular
favorite.
fan. You
Yeah.
are the
No.
only fan.
There's a bunch of Greg Ostertag stands right now who are
Oh,
demanding
Name
Okay.
five. Name five. Name
Greg
five.
Ostertag's
I'm not gonna
family and
dox
you.
people.
Luke's hanging out with the Greg Ostertag fan club in the evenings.
You mean I created it? I'm not hanging out.
Yeah,
in
he's
it.
the
I
president
live
of the
it.
fan club. Yeah,
That's
ran
funny.
by him.
'Cause I completely feel you though, man. Because I remember it was 2K21. There was no ulting brand card other than the base amethyst.
Yeah.
and I had to. They eventually put, I think, a pink diamond in the exchange that was like garbage. Like it was like
Yeah, it was
literally
horrible.
like there was ruby cards that were like better, like just straight up like 2KDB, like way better, right? It was like end of July, and I was like, well, F it, find it. Let's like let's do the exchange. I did a gameplay on it, and that became like the meme. Like now Elton Brand is like an emote on my Twitch channel. So I feel you, man. Like it's just like you want to just hoop with like that player and
Elevate. Quick
catch some
question.
bodies.
That's coast to
Are
coast.
you a Clippers fan? Elevate. Are you a Clippers fan? Is that your team?
Nah, man, well, I grew up in Southern California. I live in Miami now, but I grew up in Southern California in like, late 90s, early 2000s. So the Lakers were doing their thing. Shaq and Kobe. Kobe's my all-time favorite. But the Clippers were just like the JV like trash team, that weren't gonna do anything.
Shoot.
And they were like young and exciting, like after a while with Q, with Darius Miles, Elton Brand, Lamar Odom, stuff like that. So they became kind of like my little underdog team. So I always just have like a special place in my heart for just that little era of Elton Brand's team. So
does everyone on this call have like a meme bet? I've obviously got Larry Johnson, which is weird because it's literally because I beat Goat Jordan with Diamond Larry Johnson like 3 years ago. That's the only reason that connection.
Mine changes every year.
Yours is RJ, really, isn't it now?
No, now it's RJ. Before it was David Robinson for like 2 years. It was like 2 years.
I mean, that wasn't, bro.
That was
a
a
meme
troll.
player is like you using. Like you didn't gas D-Rob because you fell asleep before getting him.
So then who would it have been the other years? Because I don't
know. I feel like the only one I can remember really with you is RJ.
RJ, yeah, Star J Barrett.
Yeah,
I definitely have a few, man. Like I used Sapphire Wilt Chamberlain forever last year. Like that dude was like starting like at the end of season 1, and just because he could kind of like stop the paint mashing situation that we had last year. So he kind of became like a meme kind of goat of the channel too.
Brand is your big one, isn't it? Brand is your big one.
Elton Brand, just because he never gets like a good card. I was so pumped when the trophy case came out. That was the first one I went for, and
JD, you got a meme player?
I don't think I do, to be fair. Maybe like Ruby Marcus Smart from last year. Maybe I used him for like 5 months. I had like many different ones, but very hot. Very.
You like a D-Rob as well, didn't you? You like a D-Rob. I feel like you've had every D-Rob that's ever been dropped.
Yeah, it's because like I badged out like 3 of them last year and made quite a few millions. So yeah, I guess D-Rob, baby. I don't know. He is my guy.
He's 7'1" with like 3% body fat. There's nothing to hate there.
Biceps.
Let me ask you guys a question, because I asked this question in a video the other day. What music do you think David Robinson listens to?
I can tell you right now what he listens to.
How do you know this?
I know this. I know this for fact. He listens to opera.
Seriously, that's a fact.
I was not surprised. I don't know why.
I'm not even kidding.
Doesn't he have like a military background? He was in the Navy,
he's called the Admiral.
His name is
brother.
Admiral.
Jeez, what a question.
He has a military
black
black background, and he
every time D-Rob comes up, he takes another L.
My guy had notes, but he didn't have that written down.
Matt, what's your meme player?
No, my meme player, from last year, I literally had 2. Number 1 was Ruby Errol Boykins from the Out of Position set. I used to
explain how that happened.
Tear people up in triple threat with that card. It was
legend.
for trolling purposes.
I feel like you're guessing it.
Let me tell you something. It was for trolling purposes only. Okay. Now I love that card for whatever reason. It got up. It was a center and point guard eligibility. My other one was Bob Nedelicki, which I call Bob Nicolicki. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, Nicolicki. That's
so. If that's the case, it would have been Ruby Eric Snow for me, because I ran him for a long time. Because I refused to spend money on the game. That glitch, Eric Snow. Yeah, I ran him a lot.
Yeah, he was glitched for real.
Yeah, for sure.
Before Ostertag, because I've always known that like 2K was not going to give us an Ostertag because my man averaged like 2.3 points a game. Like I know they're not going to do it, right? Before that, it was Nick Young, dude. I was gassing Swaggy P hard, like all day, because I used to run Sapphire. My TTO squad from 2K20 was Pink Diamond Evo, Jeremy Lin, Sapphire, Nick Young, and Amethyst Bull, and I used to take down GOAT squads with that team. That was nice.
You were good at the game at one point, Lutz?
At 2K20,
that's cool,
kind of nice.
You wrong. You dirty dog.
Oh yeah, dude. For a little bit, I used to be nasty on TTO.
You was looking like the Bulls last night, right? being in the mirror.
Luke just
cooking.
flexed on the game. That was so jarring, bro. Shit.
Jazz,
with
let
the
me
little
ask
flower in his head.
let me ask everybody this real quick while we're on that subject. What was your favorite 2K ever? Like I can tell you right now. I think between 21. You know, I mean, what do you think, JD? What's your favorite?
Oh,
If
God,
you had
don't throw
one.
it to me
Answer
straight
this in
away.
the chat as well, by the way. And
Yeah.
your meme player. Drop your meme player as well.
I'll say 2K17 or 2K5.
JD's like, which one did I hate the
Bro,
most?
I'm struggling.
2K19 was my favorite 2K.
Which one did I hate
2K17.
the least?
2K17 had blacktop. That's why I would say 2K17.
I think
Blacktop is
2K17
my
I've got the
favorite
fondest
gameplay.
memories of. That was like MyTeam Unlimited, where it's just like you could prestige and get like
Yeah.
20 boxes and like MT rewards. I think 2K17, because you could run like Emerald card. I think I had like Emerald Chris Stats in my team by the end of the year.
Yes.
That was the year that you could just run with a bunch of cards for the year. So I think 2K17 I'll go with.
Man, the biggest jump, like 1 year to the next, I think, was from 2K10 to 11. That gets talked about a lot. My first MyTeam was 2K19, actually, that I really, really dove into it. So that was like, that kind of like has a special, special place in my heart. You were my first,
Most
2K19.
That was the first my team I played as well. Yeah, 19.
And
Yeah.
then 21, like when next gen first dropped, was really, really impressive too. Before they kind of got like patched to all
I hear
hell,
that a
but-
lot. I didn't have a next gen console then. For me, it's got to be 22. By the way, just 22 next gen gameplay was the most fun I've had playing this game,
It was
especially
cool.
towards the end of the year. The last 4 or 5 months, like I said, I'm like, it's weird because I run a podcast where we talk about content, and we don't really talk about gameplay a huge amount. But gameplay is just way more important to me. Like, if I can have fun just playing the game, I don't need a reason to play. You know what I mean? The reason to play is to enjoy playing the game. And the only time I really, really felt like that, where I'm just loading up for fun, I think I got 400 wins in like season 8 in clutch time last season. I was chasing, was it Mark Eaton? I can't remember what season it was. I was kind of chasing
Yeah,
him.
it was Mark Eaton.
Oh,
But
the
it
wheel
didn't
spin
feel
of
like it didn't feel like I was going play. Like it didn't feel like I was overplaying. I was happy to just play, like just load up, play, and get the card. I think once I got the card, I played another 100 games. That was as good as it's been for me. Like gameplay was king in 22. I think.
So
Yeah.
end game made and Simnation application denied.
Which means it's been in the post, bro, for like months. Someone's gonna get back to me, dude.
Oh God.
Meech told me it's on the desk months ago. I feel like I've been aired now.
No, it's only
Um,
non-logo. Non-logo.
Non-logos.
We're
only, dude.
fighting
I
for
know,
you,
I
man.
know.
But you just keep, you just keep
Digging
talking about
a
end
deeper
games
hole.
and vote numbers and stuff. So
I got clout now. Does that help?
maybe.
Hollywood.
Did you say probably? Nice. Quick question for everyone. What games have you played so far to try and get the duo?
Ooh, for me, I can tell you I've been playing Triple Threat online. Primarily, I played Clutch, didn't have any success, and right now, I'm currently
How many
working on
of each?
offline. How many on what?
On
TTO?
all of it, yeah.
Okay, TTO, I played 25 yesterday on stream, and then I played a little bit more today. I played, I just started offline like less than 15 games. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Clutch time, I've been running it up. I think I played 25 games. Excuse me. Let me revert that. No, I played almost 100 games on TTO, 25 games on Clutch Time. I had that backwards. I don't know why. But anyways,
You played 100
Clutch
TTO
Time,
games?
almost 100. Yeah.
How many
yeah.
you win?
Pretty much all of them, but like 3. Okay.
That was a flex.
I ran up the table like literally almost like 8 times. And what the hell is going on? Still hadn't seen Bantam. They should call him Phantom. I mean, what is this, man? I'm sick right now. I'm really
Phantom of
sick.
the Opera.
Yeah, for real.
D-Rob would love that. JD, how many you played?
None.
Let's move
None.
on.
None.
I've said at the start of the season, I'm going to play Unlimited, so I would have played Unlimited anyway. And Bantam's in that vault.
Yeah.
If I get him out of that, then maybe I'll play Triple offline to try and get Knight out of that. But if I don't get him, then I'm not going to touch TTO for a chance or Triple offline for a chance.
How many unlimited games?
2.
Oh, you are.
2. Matt's out here with like 125 games. I'm like 2. That's all I've
Do you
managed
play
to
this
do.
game, JD?
Not really.
Hashtag
That
backdoor
really
for
is
Bantam.
wild.
Co-host KillaJosh, how many games you played?
we've been playing co-op. Me and Jazz been playing co-op on stream with Rye Guy. Shout out to Rye Guy. That's been fun. That's been fun.
That is dying. The co-host thing. Every week you create a meme, bro. Last week you were watching the lights. This week you're co-host KillaJosh. I love it. Never change. Go ahead.
I've been playing co-op with Jazz and Rye Guy on stream. It's been really fun. I realized that I have to play on my server because I don't know what it was that day. Jazz server is just so unnecessarily sweaty. You got dudes out here with Damian freaking Lillard. Just
thank you.
Like, and this is before logo. This is pre-logo at that. Like, so we going in with that logo.
Server with a logo.
Crazy.
Let me kill this narrative real quick. You know this whole idea that everyone on the EU server is trash. It is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. JD will verify this.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that at the highest level, and this is where this narrative comes from, right? That the best American comp players will beat the best EU comp players because they lab against each other, blah, 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 blah. That means nothing about the other 99.99% of people that play this mode. The EU server is sweaty as hell. And the reason is, if you're going to play, like, a basketball game in the EU, you need to be a diehard, like, basketball fan. There's no casuals in the EU, man. There's no casual basketball fans in the EU. You've got to really want to play this game and, like, really sweat this game if you play it. It's so sweaty. And now, I think a couple of years ago, it was okay, especially when the game was free. It wasn't so bad. But now, bruh.
It is nasty over there, man. I think we got stream sniped last night. Or was it today? No, it was today. I think we got stream sniped. Somebody was playing me, Jazz, and Ryan. And then they came in the stream, and it was like, they said GG's after they won. And you know, I had to
suppress. One bucket as well. We were on the comeback.
That's
right,
bro.
They were talking their shit. We nearly came back.
We almost came back. We're reading chat though. I think we should. If we wasn't reading chat, we would have popped them. I'm just saying.
I was also playing on a foreign server, so we were already at disadvantage before we loaded up. Also, I was spectacularly hungover. I made some mistakes last night.
Hanging like a MF, man.
Bro, I was on Josh's stream just knocking Miz back last night. It was bad. It was bad.
I don't even want to repeat this question, man. Oh, but I want to ask it so bad. I don't know. You think we get Jazz? What's your favorite position again?
Oh man.
We were loading up players, and Josh goes, "What's your favorite position, Jazz?" I think my response was missionary.
Jesus.
The fact that I picked the most boring position as well is the best.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna drop the link to my OnlyFans, guys. Make sure you go.
Oh man, do we need to get into the US tour stories, man? This is,
No.
This is powerful.
I've had my logo for a day, bro. I'm not using it tomorrow. Like, this is not how this is gonna go today.
Hey, real quick, while we're on the subject, we had a stream. KillaJosh had a stream, okay, and he streamed Fall Guys, and that was one of the most fun streams ever, man. Everybody was in there. I know Rye Guy was in there, Jazz was in there, man. I was in there, Splash was in there, man. We had everybody. Spontaneous J was in there. All the goats was literally in there. We had fun, but who was that guy that was cooking us?
It was A to the game.
Yes,
A to the game. And then what was the other?
The cat.
The cat. Yes, bro. Oh my god.
The cat. Hey, bro. Listen. So I was walking like this. I'm a little ice cream cone, right? And I'm walking, man. And I see this cat flying. Like he had some type of like flotation, like levitation device or something. And he won literally every time. Did you kick him out?
Yeah, we did kick him after like 5
If I don't see a clip on YouTube tomorrow of Mojo saying I'm a little ice cream cone, I'm gonna be pissed. Someone has to clip that
it's
out.
Chocolate too, by the way.
He did have sprinkles. He had sprinkles. What games has everyone else played for these cards in?
I'm playing Triple Threat Online and Unlimited. I haven't seen Bantam at all, but I've played like 23. I think I have 23 wins total across all game modes. So it's like I'm not really sweating that hard for it. If it happens, which it won't, cool. If not, which is likely, then cool. I guess whatever. I
hate that you're so defeated, bro. Like seriously, man.
Do you watch my pack openings?
This is RNG.
I'm sorry. I have gone 4.5 seasons now without pulling a top tier card at all. Period. From anything. So at this point, it's not even like a defeatist mindset. It's just a realist mindset. It's just
Oh,
like not going to
man.
happen. Get Ronnie out here. Get him on the podcast so I
real.
can have a chat with him, even though he controls none of this.
just someone to take your anger out on.
He just needs to come to the Ostertag side of things. Like he needs to understand what we're doing here. We don't want Lil Wayne. We want
There
Greg
is no
Ostertag.
side. It's just you.
Yeah, well, okay. The amount of people who wanted Lil Wayne in the game versus the amount of people who wanted Greg Ostertag is either equal or I'm winning.
The fact that that's true is wild. Yeah, you're probably right. Elevate, you played any games for these cards?
I haven't played too much to start off the season yet. I think I have like 19 wins in triple threat offline on my Cayman grind, and a few challenge games under my belt. I haven't really got into it. I like to pace myself, take a breather, and then I'll get into it. But I'm not super like I need to have these cards. It's just I don't know. I'm kind of anti-meta, so when a card is like, oh, he's got all the meta sigs, I'm just kind of like, eh. And then if it's like some random guy that's got third best dribble style, like that's who I'm gonna go for. But
what is the third best dribble style?
I don't know. There's only one,
Trey,
right? There's only
Trey or
MJ.
Ja, right? I think.
Anything that's
Jaws.
not-
Jaws nice.
Yeah, probably Trey or Ja would be third, I would assume. I don't know. There's some random comp guy that's going to come in the chat and chastise me for my opinion on this, but
yeah,
whatever.
there's a gremlin going off right now. You
Oh,
don't know what you're
100%.
doing. Yeah,
Settle
Yeah,
down, Gremlins.
I don't.
It's-
Guess
King is
what? I'm
speaking.
gonna talk
Settle down,
directly to
Gremlins.
you, dog. I don't know what I'm talking about. Suck it.
Listen.
We need
You know,
Jacob on the chat, man.
it goes beyond the dribble style, though, man. I mean, this man Bantam One has Kuzma, Rudy Gay on quick. I mean, that alone right there should just entice you to play all the games, you know, from co-op, TTO, whatever, wherever he's at. You know what I feel?
Billy's got Rudy Oscar, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's the one. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say, you know, maybe 2K, if people can't get him RNG through triple threat offline, hopefully they throw him in. And normally they've done this with other cards. They threw the offline player onto TTO, so maybe we get an opportunity to get him. I think by the end of season.
that's a
to it.
very good shout. I can see them doing that.
Yeah,
switching
that-
this at some point.
2K, if you listen, in which I know you are, please make that happen, man. For everybody that's played 250 plus games offline and still haven't received them, man, please.
Or have a vault event too, like they used to, like a double vault event. I've
That would
seen
be
a lot of
nice.
people would get
Oh, so the
RNG.
ball can slam in my face twice. Instead
No,
of
no,
once.
like I'm talking about like unlimited. If you play that, you get like double vault for every win.
Unlimited
Unlimited.
double vault. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take 4
We're making
tokens instead of
requests,
2. Yeah.
We're making requests to 2K. Can we do something to do something with our tokens, man? Like I have
Yeah.
like 6,000 tokens and like nothing to do with them. Like give me
Talk
something to
about
do
it.
with them.
We have
about
done one of the 45 things, but tokens is about 36. So let's do it now. Yes, I agree. I have 5,500 tokens. Could I spend them on something, please?
Yeah,
Mhm.
4,000 tokens. What can I do with them?
Jesus, 6,000 almost right now.
Yeah,
you know?
that's ridiculous.
Elevate, you know, I'm glad you brought up that point. What they should do is bring back packs like they did back in 2K20. If you know, you freaking know something, anything. I mean,
Lights out.
let's face it. The moment stuff, I mean, it's great, but I mean, come on now. For those that have really collected Jazz, all these tokens, the tokens that everybody in this podcast has, let's use it on something, anything besides that. At least hop badges, anything.
I think a good way to use the tokens is people who miss like E or Ray Allen or Westbrook, add those takeover plays in there for the token market. And I think that's a good way for like, just if you missed the grind or you weren't able to do it at the time, you have tokens sitting there. You can redeem each players for the lock-in and then
Would be
maybe do the
nice.
challenges again. And
I
then
mean, they basically
Get
did
the
that
cards.
with the takeover cards.
Yeah, so the next season they'll drop in the ones for like E and Westbrook because like this season you can buy all the cards for Bam Adebayo.
but like Bam is from season 2. Why would you want him 3
Yeah,
seasons
exactly. But
later?
that's how they do it. They do it 2 seasons delayed. So like
Yes.
if you want the stuff from last
Or-
season, you have to wait till next season.
You know what I wish they would have did though? Instead of making those series 2 cards auctionable, I
Yeah,
wish that would have been for the
token
tokens
market.
instead.
Oh, they're
Right.
so
much better.
bad, bro.
That would have
Yeah.
been so much
Sold
better. Like
so bad.
The
people
season-
sitting on
season one-
10,000 tokens.
Great
Yeah, the
point.
Series 1 stuff, everyone was so happy that they were in a token market. It was seen as like, it was pushed like a really big positive at the start of the year. And like, it didn't even cross my mind. Like, I saw the blog and I was like, all right, bet 450 new cards, spend like a couple of thousand tokens, get
Mhm.
through the collector level as well without having to spend MT.
Right.
And then they're just impacts. And the golds are like 6K a
Bro.
pop. They are
I'm
so
on
expensive.
certain cases.
Top trying to lock in for Quentin Grant. Why is Jericho Sims 100K bid? Like, What is
It don't
wrong
make-
with you guys?
Some
I
of
hope
them
you
not
get-
even
If your
available.
card sells, I hope you get banned. Matter of fact,
Hey,
putting up
hey.
Jericho sins for that.
Look,
Sheesh.
Josh,
Right.
listen, and this is the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you have something based off a grind, which that's what this is, Series 2 is based off the grind. In order to lock in, what do you have to do? You have to go to domination and play those games in order to lock in the set. So if you're going to base it off a grind, at least put it in something that is such as a token market, you know, so everybody can have an opportunity to get it. You
Right.
know, it just seems it's so distant, especially when MT is so scarce. Everybody don't have it like my boy JDCrossover with multi-millions, you know what I'm saying? And who, you know, doing his thing. I just had to throw it in there, JD.
No, it's perfectly accurate.
Money.
It's perfectly
Some
accurate, man.
No lies told. No lies
No
told.
lies detected. I spent 2.5 mil on it. I still got like 4 mil in the bank.
Oh my
It's so
God.
stupid.
Man,
I have 125,000, so that's lit. I like to hear that.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Luke's is stoked about that. Yeah, listen, come on, bro. Look. I
Gotta
know
do
VC is
something.
the main currency. I know MT is the second currency, but tokens is still a currency, man. Have we forgot like these things exist? Like
Speak
they're
Yes.
in the game in many game modes. You can get 2 tokens for winning an unlimited game. Please let
Yeah,
those
that
2
hurts.
tokens
That
mean
hurts my
something.
soul, dude. Every time that happens, it hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts
When
when I'm
those 2
flipping those
tokens
cards
mean
in the
nothing.
Ascension and I get 1 token, or I have a multiplier, so I get 3 instead of 1.
Yeah,
It hurts.
yeah, it's good that time. Yeah, but
You-
look, if you're gonna give me 2 tokens for sweating for an hour, at least
Right.
let me spend them on something. That's all I'm saying. Just
Talk about it.
let me.
It's-
Why is there's so many things they could do, and this is where I don't agree with everything JD says, but one thing that he said time and time and time again, I agree with, like to the letter, which is they so often do something once and then never do it again. What you put the flash forward packs in there? I'm telling you right now, put any promo pack in there. Put 5.
Put the All-Star
There's a card
set.
in there I want.
Anything.
Make them equal chance, and I will spend 5,000 tokens right now. Like right now, while I'm recording the podcast. Half badges, isn't it time?
Half, yeah.
Badges in there now.
Yeah.
There's
Something.
why is it so dead, bro? It's
I
just
would
like-
assume that they're gonna put an All-Star Opal guaranteed pack for like 1,000 tokens in the next like 2 weeks. I would guarantee they do that.
Yeah. Which is still expensive, you know.
Yeah, it's
even
gonna be
equal-
For an Opal,
98%
that is.
chance to get Domantas Sabonis, but like
That's
it's something,
crazy.
I guess.
That's crazy. But I would say this again, you know, with the Series 2, I mean, you got player cards such as a LeBron freaking James that has 2 half badges and has cold zones. I mean, come on now. I mean, we're paying
The
on that.
cold
We ripping
zones.
for this. Are you serious right now? Like, this is the problem right now. I'm serious. Are you serious right now? That's the problem. Let us use these tokens for something, you know.
The fact
They
you have
used
to
to have
lock
value.
in.
Go ahead,
You
Lou.
have to lock in a 98 overall LeBron James to get a 95 overall Lonnie Walker the fourth.
Jesus.
Is the funniest thing ever. I'm
I
not
was
gonna
about
lie,
to
I
say
love
it.
it. I love it.
Man.
It's great.
You
Yeah,
know what I
that's
compare-
one of
you know
my
what I
biggest
compare
pet
the,
peeves. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is like that card tiers don't really mean like anything. There's no like integrity to the card
No,
tier.
No, there's
You know,
not.
that like it's think about it. I mean, like we know because like we play all the time. We've been playing for years. Like imagine how confusing that is for like the new player. You know, like
Mm.
they're like and then the matchmaking. You like run this you run this full team of Series 2 opals, and then you get matched up against like real opals, and like what kind of chance do you have there? You know, it's wild to me. Like I don't.
I mean, the fact
understand
that
it.
we had pink diamonds day one, and like 2 months into the game, Diamond Llewellyn Deng was the best shooting guard in the game. Really speaks to that. I don't know, like the token market. I have the same feeling, right? You know, when you go like food shopping, like with your significant other. My wife's gluten-free, right? And there's always a point in the food shop where we go to the gluten-free aisle and she starts picking out all these treats for her. But I know there's nothing for me there, right? I'm looking at the shelf, but there's nothing for me. This is all for someone else. Like none of this is for me. That's the comparison. Everything in the token market is for like someone who picked up the game yesterday.
And it
you
doesn't
get
even help
clickbaited into
them.
getting
That's
a
the
takeover card. Like there probably is someone out there trying to raise 200 tokens to open a takeover pack because they have no idea what's going on. Like, can we just put something in there for someone who's knowledgeable, knows what they're doing, and
Right.
can
The
get
best
some-
part is you
something
can't
to-
even like look at what's in the actual takeover packs. Like they don't even let you preview them. So there's probably,
Yeah.
you're right. There's probably people raising funds to open one of these packs, having no idea what's actually inside of them.
None.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this player. This is gonna be sick. Or they think it's actually 12 cards, and then they open it up and they get one, and they have to pick Bob Pettit, and they're
I
gonna be
pray
upset.
that person isn't an Elgin Baylor fan. Like that card.
Oh, man.
That card, bro.
Mm,
That's
the
the one they
tokens.
go for.
I don't think there's
Man.
too many Elgin Baylor fans left. You know, I'm pretty sure they all are deceased. But
Not
yeah,
after that
Dang,
card.
Wow,
Not.
deceased
Not
is
after that
crazy.
card.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Wow, Luz. Wow.
Um,
I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think there's too many 95-year-olds
that
playing
flower
my
on your
team.
head
I
is
could be
starting to
wrong,
rot,
though.
bro. The flower on your head starting to rot, man. That was cold.
I'm a
That's
flower
wild, man.
child.
I actually ran Elgin Baylor in Jazz's tournament. He was on that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Boy. Boy.
we somehow, it's been an interesting podcast so far because we have somehow gone from like reward cards. We've covered 2 of the like 10. Then to basic
I covered
2
all of them.
and token market without ever talking about all the
You
other
did, dudes.
actual reward cards and
Should we get
the
into it?
radiator/radiation packs. What they call radiant.
Radiant.
Radiation
Jazz.
packs.
Radiation.
Damn.
Man
cells.
said radiation.
There's no heat in there. They're definitely not radiation
You
packs.
called them radioactive earlier. You should have
I
heard.
did call it radioactive. It's very close. Come on, T-Mac's in there as well. It's very close.
It
Just
is
saying.
very close.
Just saying. Just
They got a
saying.
little Phoenix, on the pack. I don't know. I would just wish that they would stop doing these. I don't know. I just want to say insert player here packs. Like it's just a random name that they just come up with and they can put anyone in them. I would like to see them go back to like themed packs of yonder year, like 6 men of the year, clutch performers, like stuff like that. I just like radiant packs. You can put anyone there. I get it. They probably make all these designs prior to the year actually like
We got
unfolding.
All-Star packs a week ago. Labor theme.
Yeah, but I mean those you can plan, a year in advance to do all-star packs. It's not like the all-star game moves around and dodges you. Like I
That's
just
what
wish they
super
would
packs are for, Ludes. That's what your
No,
super
they're
packs
not.
are.
Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it here. I just want to see like a 6 man of the year pack or something. Like just something like that. That's all I care about. But that's just me being like a
Yeah, that would
basketball
be
nerd.
cool. It would be cool.
They used to do it like that, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I
First
agree with
off,
that too.
I'm going to stand firm on the fact that Tracy McGrady did not need to have Kevin Porter Jr. release. He didn't. How you're gonna make this man at 45 years old come in and mocap you a new jump shot, and then you're not even gonna use it?
Mm.
Despicable.
But realistically, though, like his jump shot, the mocap, it's not it.
It's
not it.
good. We don't know that. They
And
never
then the
even
fact
let
that
it
they
get above
mocapped
normal.
him at 45, like you should have
Well,
known.
what are you going to
right
go
there,
back
man.
in time and mocap him? In
I
the
know
past?
you can't. That's what I'm saying. Just leave it alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
but
what-
my
just leave
thing
it
is
alone.
like you didn't even give us a chance to try the jump shot on very quick. They just instantaneously went, all right, Park Sigs, dude, it's time. Like we're gonna get 5 more T-Max before the end of the year. There's plenty of time to change his
Can
jump
I ask you a
shot.
question, though, Luz?
What?
do you think the reaction to everyone would have been if they gave us a Tracy McGrady with his regular jump shot on very quick?
They would have complained for 5 minutes and then forgotten about it, like everything else in this game.
They would have ignored
So I
him
don't
completely
care.
and just locked in on D-Rob. That's actually
Yeah, that's
They would
basically
ignore
what
him.
would happen.
He would,
Yeah,
he
but
wouldn't
who-
even be a talk.
Who
talk-
cares though? Because the
talk
only
discussion.
people that have T-Mac are people who, let's be real, they don't need the Park Six. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it right now. You don't need them.
Oh no!
I want to say
only
that-
people Splash. You got T-Mac.
Side
What
eye.
is just
A
type in the chat.
Splash can win with any card in this game.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs KPJ. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't care. Look, they gave T-Mac his actual jump shot. Granted, it's 45-year-old like AARP T-Mac at this point, but like still, they gave him his actual jump shot this year.
AARP. Oh my god.
Like, let
What
me
is
at
that?
least use it. It's an association for retired people. Okay. Doesn't matter. Anyways, just let me at least use his jump shot on very quick. I personally don't think his jumper was that bad. Like, people are freaking out for no reason. It's like
Why are you
kind
talking
of
like you
slow.
were ever going to get this card?
Well,
Yeah.
I might have had a chance of getting this card if he had his
no,
actual jump
you know
shot.
you wouldn't. You know you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. If he's over 100k, you're cooked.
I wouldn't have packed him, but like maybe a month and a half from now, I could have picked him up for 90K.
There'll be another T-Mac by then, remember?
Yeah, there will, and I still won't be able to afford that one because they juice T-Mac. So now every T-Mac from this point forward is going to have KPJ release instead of his own jump shot until we get endgame packs in July where he has his own jump shot, but only the one that's 25K.
I mean, you could get the pink diamond one if you want. You know, that'd be.
Yeah, treat
I hope you
yourself. Let's go
never,
get
I
the
hope
updated
you
Treat yourself.
never get
The ice.
You can
they
afford him.
never put an RJ
Ice.
Barrett in this game. I hope RJ Barrett blows his ACL
Whoa.
out and he doesn't get
Whoa,
Here we go.
whoa,
Here we
whoa, whoa! That's why Alonzo's never playing basketball again. You guys
They've
signed him for no
seen he
reason.
has a leg injury that a sports
How cold.
scientist said they've never seen before. That's not a good sign.
Bro,
Can-
yeah,
can-
he's
can-
never coming back.
Man, can we get off? Listen, let me say something real quick, man, before we get on the NBA talks. Because Josh talking about the Knicks is going to it's the rest
Yeah,
of
it's
the
like
pod.
20 minutes.
It's over. It's over. But listen. Can we all
It's
appreciate?
co-host KillaJosh, by the way.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
good.
yes. Can we all appreciate 2K and its card art, this Radiant card art? And the matter of fact, the last card arts, man, have been, I think, some of the best I've ever seen. I mean, bravo to them. I have to give them that, man. The card art is just amazing. And somebody who is a pack connoisseur can appreciate it, man. It just goes hard, man. And it just makes me wonder what they're going to do next week. I mean, I know Radiant seems generic, but that card art is hard.
I think it's a little too much with that little glow in the front.
Something.
That glow in the front is a little too much. Everything else is fine.
I strongly advise not looking at those packs with a hangover. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's a bit bright. It's a bit bright early in the day. They are nice though. They are nice packs. I got a question, and then I got another question. My first question is T-Mac the best card in the game?
Yao. No, Yao.
No.
Yao still.
I think he is.
Yao.
I think he is.
He's the best card in the game if you're skilled at the game, but if you're not, it's Yao.
If you're a noob and you need these wins like I do, then Yao is the guy.
You
Yao is
just
just a cheat code.
Did you finish like 18th in qualifiers once?
Oh yeah, that was like ages ago. It
was last year, you sweat.
Yeah, it was last year. It's different. It's a different time, man. I'm a changed man.
So what's the split? Elevate, who you got? Yao or T-Mac? Best card in the game. I know you probably you're out there going, Elton Brand is still cracked, but
no, I'm realistic with my with my anti-meta stuff. I think Yao's probably more of a problem. You could probably have people that can defend Tracy McGrady a little easier than you can Yao. You don't have I don't know who can defend Yao. I don't know. So probably
does that make Yao the better card, you think?
Yeah, probably at this point, yeah. But like will you you're about to get the card, right? That's probably why you're asking this question.
That is the next question, yeah.
So you're right, man. Like Tracy McGrady will probably have more usability, like longevity wise. But right now, Yao is like the better card. But you're one drop away from Yao being kind of like sliding down.
Because everyone on stream, when I realized after an hour that I could get a free card, everyone was like, yeah, it's just Yao, innit? That's the card you got to get. And then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, we need a pink diamond Porzingis, which we're probably going to get because we get one every year to stop the Galaxy Opal Yao. Kareem, Dark Matter is probably on the way. I would say at that point, because I've had comp players in my DMs today saying there isn't a card that they can drop that will stop Yao outside of Taco. So the comp guys don't believe that even a Dark Matter Kareem will stop Yao.
Yeah.
No.
Or Symbolar, maybe.
I think at this point, it's just dropping centers that's going to make Yao work. Like D-Rob right now, he's going to make Yao work. Like granted, you got to stop Yao on the defensive end, but y'all got to stop that D-Rob too. D-Rob could hold limitless range. So it's like,
yeah, but Yao's 7'5". If you just contest, you're gonna hit the contest every single time.
He's too slow though. If he jumps out,
he's 92 speed with a coach.
No.
How many people gonna have what's his name? Don.
If you got Yao, you're gonna have Don Nelson. Let's be real.
No, I don't.
I know. You keep giving these examples, and none of them are me. I might have T-Mac. I might have Yao without
here is how I look at it, right? When Vince Carter came out, everyone said, oh my God, Vince Carter is the most cracked shooting guard in this game. Oh man, he's going to be usable until May. He's going to blah, 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 blah. Then we get T-Mac less than a month later, right? Have we gotten anything to rival Yao? No. Are we going to get anything to rival Yao in the next 3 weeks? No, because we're not getting a Taco pre-250K. We're going to get
Porzingis.
Porzingis is 7'3". He's super skinny. He's not going to hang with Yao. I promise he's not.
Well, here's the thing, though. You got to understand as well. This is my team, so 2K can do whatever they want. If they could put KPJ, Oscar Robinson, or McGrady, you damn sure believe that they can do any card. Like KP, they could crack him out. They could crack out a Symbolar or even bring back Sean Bradley, you know what I'm saying, to rival or contest,
it's just a player build thing, really.
No, but my thing,
true. You're right.
Player build isn't everything to me, though. Because like I said,
it is this game, dude. Have you played against a Yao trying to stop this man? He will make everything. Oh, D-Rob's not stopping Yao. I promise.
Not once did I say D-Rob is stopping. I said Yao got to go guard him on the other end. D-Rob can move with the ball. Yao cannot. Yao got an 80. He got an 88 speed with the 90 something speed. Right, cool. D-Rob with the same kind of boost is blowing Yao out the water. No questions asked. Outside, inside, it don't matter.
I mean. What about playstyle though? Maybe it's all dependent on playstyle as well,
if somebody, Josh. Like for me, if I have a D-Rob and I got Don Nelson, I'm gonna drag you back. If you don't step up with Yao, I'm shooting it. If you guard up, I'm running past you and I'm dunking it. Yao's not gonna be able to.
But 7-1 against 7-5, that's a lot.
Have you played against the Yao, Josh? Are you playing?
Yes, I played against Yao multiple times. He got boxed by the Gasol brothers, bro.
The way he said he's got 90 speed, cool.
Like 90 speed 7'5" is just it's
Like, it's not the
A
most
90
exact card
speed
every
versus
year.
a 98 speed D-Rob. What do you like?
So I think the main thing though that was just said, I apologize because I don't remember who said it because I got worked up. Thanks, Josh. Is that somebody is going to
It's
somebody
colors,
exists
Josh.
right
Remember
now.
that, please.
Yeah, there's cards that exist right now that can either stop or slow down T-Mac. They're currently on the defensive end is no one that can stop Yao. That's
No,
just
no, no.
Except
how
for
it
Yao.
is.
Except for Yao.
Yeah. That's basically what I would say.
But you
Like,
might
you
have more
can-
fun with T-Mac because he's a
You
shooting
will have
guard
more fun
and you can
with
drop
T-Mac.
threes with him. So
You actually need a
you
brain
wouldn't want to
to
make the
use
decision
T-Mac.
for you, Jazz.
Yeah, you
I
need
mean,
a
in
brain
the
to use
backcourt,
T-Mac.
what are we getting soon? It's interesting you use Vince Carter as an example, right? Because he's still top 2, top 3, right?
Yes,
Shooting
for
guard.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who are we getting? Who are
Don't
we
about
getting?
Kobe.
That's
Don't
gonna
about
help?
Kobe soon.
Kobe's jump
Kobe,
shot can't
Michael
even get that much
Jordan.
better.
I mean,
though.
the wingspan, the defense. You think
They can
Kobe's
change
gonna,
it.
You think Kobe's going to be better than T-Mac if he drops soon?
Out of position, LeBron probably. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
We
a
just
lot
got
of
a
different
LeBron. Why not
players.
get another one for a while?
Ricky
Oh,
Davis,
man,
your
they
boy,
dropped 15
DM
LeBrons
Ricky.
last week, or
You hear
last
me?
week, last year. Yeah,
Ricky Davis?
Yeah, I was about to say DM Ricky Davis could be another one. You know what I'm saying? They could drop another Terry Deashinger. You know what I'm saying? There's this. You never know. They
Could drop a
could create a
KD,
card.
shooting guard KD. Could be that
Ooh,
time. Don't know KD could go shooting guard already.
I mean, T-Mac's going to be
have
good
you
for a
seen
long
T-Mac,
period of time.
have you seen T-Mac Curry in this game? Have you seen him do it in this game?
Yeah.
He teleports. Have you seen it? He
Yeah.
teleports into the best jumper in the game, the literal park jumper, the meta
I
jumper
haven't
right
seen
now.
it yet.
I mean, apart from putting that on quick, or very quick, how do you make that better?
I just
I
don't
think
think
it's
there's
only on
really.
No,
That's
I
only
said
on quick.
unless you make it very quick.
Oh,
How do you
okay.
make it better?
I don't think it's really possible to argue either card is necessarily
Yeah, I know, I wanted
better
to
than
do it
the
for
other
kicks.
one. But
It's
like
giving me
I
a
would
headache,
say,
though. I need to make a decision.
Yao is probably the more annoying card to deal with, but you'll probably have more fun with T-Mac. Take T-Mac. As somebody who will
Do I
never
care
have
about
T-Mac,
fun or winning?
You want fun? You take T-Mac.
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take Yao, I think. Right. D-Rob got lost in the shuffle. Let's talk about this. D-Rob is cracked, guys.
He is.
Absolutely cracked. I think he is the third best player, right? Do we all agree that?
Yeah, he's top 3 for sure.
After T-Mac and Yao?
Yeah, I think so.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I mean-
I don't rank players anymore because I never.
Who
get
would
them.
you put above D-Rob though?
It's
Mac
debatable. I mean,
Mac Yao.
me personally, man, I love Vince Carter. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That's just me because he fits my play style. But I pulled D-Rob. I just wanted to, say to everybody, yes, I did pull D-Rob. That's crazy because
be nice.
No,
I've been.
we're not
No, hold on.
surprised. We're
I've
not
had a
surprised,
drought.
Mojo.
The Pac champ has had a drought. So I just want to say,
Yeah, you was quiet about the polls.
Nobody
for a
in the
minute. I ain't
chat
gonna
was
lie.
surprised by that.
No, he was quiet about the polls for a minute. I noticed that. I'll let you rock though. I'll let you rock.
I thought his Twitter was a bit quiet.
let me cook for a second. Let me cook. But no, I don't know. I think Vince Carter. But D-Rob literally is like probably the second best center, probably the second or third best power forward. He's just amazing.
Hey, who have you got over him at power forward? Second
Power
or
forward, he's
third is
number one.
crazy. Who you got
Uh,
over him at power forward?
It's debatable. You could say it just depended. Okay, maybe Giannis.
Who?
Maybe
Giannis steps in when he
PG?
shoots threes.
KG?
No.
I'll say this. I'll play Yee over anybody right now, and I love Yee. That's the no money spending me. You know what I'm saying? I love Yee. But that's
Jian.
yeah. I'm sorry. Excuse
Can
me.
we chill with the Yi Yalen though?
Yee Yalen.
God's been up for like
We're
6
tied.
weeks. Come
We're
on,
tied.
man. D-Rod's the best power forward in the game. He's my start. No, he's my backup power forward. The only person
Okay.
that's even in conversation with D-Rob is KG, and D-Rob's clear. I think. What do you think, JD?
I don't have KG. I was just going off what people have said. People have said like KG's up there, but yeah, I looked at D-Rob yesterday and I was like, yeah, that's a gnarly center or power forward. But I'd like to get him, but man, those prices are wild. T-Mac is
It's
base
high.
1 mil. D-Rob is like base
High.
750. Like,
Is that PlayStation prices?
Quick,
Yeah,
though. I picked
PlayStation
up
prices,
LeBron
yeah.
for 400k yesterday.
God.
That's his price, by the way. That's not like a bargain. I thought it was, but it isn't. These dark matters go off a cliff quick in terms of their price.
Still can't afford them.
Me either.
Still can't pull him either.
Nah, never.
He said still couldn't.
Ludes, you have
Josh,
Mojo on one side, you have JDCrossover on the other side. Like,
Uh-huh.
teach him the ways. You guys, come on, man. Like, help out your boy. Like, give him
I
the
can
pack
definitely
juice
teach
odds,
you.
the method, and then them like
Let's do
no
this.
method.
I'm
He's
down.
drowning,
Let's
man.
go.
Literally, all I do is sit down, press A all day, and just hope and pray that I get something. I'm not gonna lie to you; it works out. You know, sometimes it just
I can
don't.
vouch that doesn't
I
work.
ripped the
I've opened
20 box
120 dark matter packs and not pulled a dark
I
matter.
ripped the 20 box today, and the best pull was Allen freaking Iverson. Yeah,
W.
That's still better than what
that's
I pulled.
bad. Nah,
I
Allen
mean-
Iverson just doesn't play. I sold him immediately and got the Knicks.
AI is not it at all. You know, you know, out of this content, I want to say this while we're on the subject. The card that I played the most and been playing with most is somebody I'm playing with right now, and that is Mike D'Antoni. I love that card. I played
I
him,
pulled him
and
too.
Denny's him. You pulled him too, and he's going for 7K.
I pulled Denny as well.
Denny's him, but Mike D'Antoni, if you can get with that Curry, man, oh my God, that's his name. Nickname is Chef Curry. Literally,
Wait.
you know what I'm saying?
Since we talking about can we go through the rest of the cards in the pack?
Yeah,
I
let's do
wanna
that,
also-
Tony, since he brought him up. That Kennard upper like changes that jumper completely. By the way, like I got Steph and sold him because I wasn't getting on with the jumper, but the
Yeah.
Tony one is chick, bro.
He's him, man.
Yeah, it's chick.
Can we talk about Joe Johnson?
Yes.
Like, so I seen Jazz use him. His green window is really wide, and like what I was saying to Jazz and Ryan was like, because of his badges, even though his jump shot does seem a little bit slower, I think you can get away with it because of the badges he holds. Like he has a lot of shooting badges. I know he has half guard up, half dead eye, half blinders, and I feel like that's kind of like a trade-off where like he can be a good budget too. Like if you were somebody who's like a budget
Offensively,
player,
he can be. Yeah, he's like he doesn't have any defensive hops, right?
Yeah.
And he's lacking a ton of playmaking badges as well that are key. Offensively, he'll get a shot off. But I like looking at the card, looking back on it, Josh, I would run Ricky Davis over Joe Johnson right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give you the same thing on defense and maybe more on defense just because of his length.
and they're the same height too. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And he's
What about Mikal Bridges with his 63 block?
They hold
what is
him.
that?
Yeah.
That-
So no moments card and then a 63 block. Like, come on. Like for all of that, you could have dropped the card 10 days ago when he dropped the 40. Was it 44? 44?
44, I think. Yeah.
44 points, right? Yeah. You could have did that last
You know what's
that
funny?
should have been the moments.
If this card had dropped then as a moments card, it would have been one of the best shooting guards in the game for like a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And instead, we bundled it into a pack for no reason. And now
Just
no
the
one-
best shooting guard we got in a while. Like, it's crazy.
That's the irony, though, and this is one thing. And I'm sorry to gripe, but I'm going to say what needs to be said. When you get LeBron James, that is a 97 free agent card, it feels spiteful. It feels like they could have dropped the moments card, just like they could have dropped the moments Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, what is it? You know, I'm still hung up on last season with that moments, because I think they sort of dropped the ball on it. You know, it needs to be said that, you know, dropping a free agent LeBron as the first card is kind of spiteful to me. It's just, it is what it is. You feel me?
My man
It
Julius
is what
Randle
it
needed a moments card. He had 46 and 7 threes against the Wizards last night. And they was down 21 at one point. And he willed them to a victory. So
Look
I
at
think
everyone
he-
jumping into agreement.
Yeah, the disconnect with like what's currently going on in the NBA is definitely off-putting. And like I say, it's Jazz. You keep saying it, man. There's so many layups that they're just kind of like Russell Westbrooking off the rim, off the backboard.
They're taking half-court shots, bro.
I would have been okay if you would have said
Half-court
RJ Barrett. Because he
That
misses
might have
a
been
lot
my
more
favorite sentence. He complimented me and slandered Russell Westbrook in like 4 words. That was a W. That
You
was.
could have said Barrett, not have been fine with that because he misses a lot of layups. But Westbrook
You
is
would
crazy.
not have been fine with that.
I would. Over Westbrook, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think is a bigger fumble, the LBJ situation with the record, or Larry Bird?
Both.
LBJ.
I mean, it's both messed
Jesus,
up.
that's
No.
the,
BJ.
No, they're both messed. Okay, so here's the problem with both of them. Okay, so Larry Bird supposed to be evoed yesterday, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But now we're at the point where his 25 house and everything's an afterthought, and we're over it. Okay, with this LeBron James situation, it still kind of burns a little bit with me and with a lot of people out there. I mean, look at this. They gave us no moments, nothing. Nada, zilch. And then on top of that, they carry on and give us a limited time challenge, limited time, mind you, to get these hop badges. You know, I thought that should have been, you know, for the rest of the season, at least, you know, or all year. Why not? If you're going to do something like that, I just feel like they could have given something much more than what they offered, you know. Going back also with the All-Star situation, you know, with the lock-in, you know, with Kessler, with the 4 cards. It was McClung, Kessler. Who was the other one? Buddy Hield, and I'm missing one, Jose Alvarado, which was my favorite card out of that. We all expected to get a DM Tatum. Most of us at least, expected to get something good off that. Instead, we got some mid-tier cards. I like Jose. He's a fun card. Kessler, he's actually good, but it was supposed to be for All-Star Saturday winners, and only 2 of them, half of them were winners. Like, here's the problem with everything. It goes back to this one word, and it's consistency. There isn't no consistency. 2K is literally out of touch, not only with the NBA, with what's going on, also with the fan base as well. And that right there is problematic. You know, it goes without saying, it's kind of disconcerting. However, I feel like they're going to do something in this season to rectify all that. It looks like they're trying to do something with these reward cards, with everything that's happening later on within these grinds.
I mean, did we get Mike Banton because of All-Star or LeBron?
I don't know, but I see they're trying to rectify something, right? They're trying to do something. It's just it just burns me up personally.
Why do you think this has happened, Mojo? Why do you think they've become so disconnected from the NBA itself?
Why?
That's an open question, by the way.
The data suggests it doesn't matter.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I think it's complacency.
I just think that they look at the data that, you know, what does the data indicate jumps pack sales? Like, is it connection to the NBA? No. Okay. I think they took a lot of analytical data during the pandemic in 2K20, and they didn't necessarily factor other things into that. Like the NBA didn't exist at that current point. So I think that's kind of where a lot of it comes from. I think, like I said, we've talked about it a bunch of times. They're just chasing the dragon of 2K20 microtransaction, and they're trying everything they can do to get back to that, not realizing it's literally not possible.
So I think it's beyond that, actually. I think what you said is right, Luz. What you said is on the money. They're looking at the data. Data drives everything. They don't sugarcoat this. They look at the data. Data drives everything. The surveys that come out, if you don't do them, by the way, you're selling. Do the survey. It does actually have an impact. You might not think it does, but the truth is the vast majority of people filling in those surveys probably won't agree to a lot of the stuff you do, right? Which is why it doesn't necessarily go your way. But I think they've just taken it too far. If 80% of the community votes, right, you know, we prefer game mode cards over 2-week grinds, then they'll go, okay, let's do that. But the other 20% still kind of matter. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's the bit where they struggle sometimes, like to go, right, 20% still a big chunk, right? Like, I know some of the feedback they got. This is interesting, right? I know some of the feedback they got is people got burnt out by the third 2-week challenge. So by Westbrook. So on the Westbrook grind, people started to burn out. This is feedback they got. Don't know from where. I just know that they got it. I don't know if it's a cross section or ever. Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. But it's interesting because we would sit here kind of matter of fact and go, you know, of course we want 2-week grinds. Like, why would you take it away? It doesn't make any sense. You already done it, programmed it. We've been doing it for 3 times consecutively. We're expecting a 4th. And then the data says something that says, actually, maybe we shouldn't release that 4th one. It's not necessarily like representative of everyone, but I think this like I said, this is where the problem happens. Is that 80% of people, 70% of people, or 60% of people preferring something doesn't mean you need to take away that 40% thing that the other, like, you know what I mean? Like, those people still matter. And I think they're just leaning to the majority again and again. It's why we get this constant flip-flop, right? Of like,
why
it's
can't it just
all
be
casual
both?
or hardcore. Like, look at the trophy case to now. Just look at that progression of like who they were targeting, like in the game mode. Day one, we were like the ultra hardcore grinders go crazy. And now we're, pull a pack for T-Mac.
I don't know how 2K set up, and I don't know too much about analytical data, but I will be this. I'll say this, and I'm going to leave it alone, Jazz. We need, or not even we, they need a buffer between the 2K as the corporate and a buffer between the community. That's the problem right there. And not in data you received a month ago, but in real time. You hear what I'm saying? I feel that the content that they have given us here as of late is pretty much a reflection on how they feel about us. And I hate to say this, but it seems like, and there's a lot of people that they do not care. They strictly do not care. And that right there is an issue. I know they hear us, and I know they understand.
They hear us see everything, yeah.
I know they do. But that's here lies the problem. I feel like they just do not care about certain things. You know what I'm saying? And they just bypass the moments. They bypass the layups, as we call them, and end up taking half court shots. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they need a buffer, somebody there to help them out in real time.
Who that person is extremely important as well. Like,
yes,
there does need to be a link between the invested player base. It's always the word I use.
Right.
I don't use the word like hardcore. Like, the people who are invested in the game that have been for years.
Right.
And who that person is really, really important, because if we can get people invested, we can get people from our community. But, you know, if they just play, I don't know, clutch time offline, we're not necessarily going to get what we need from a gameplay perspective.
Exactly.
The thing that always scares me the most is someone who doesn't engage in content providing feedback. I think that's that's the scariest thing for me. Like, you know, someone who's feeding back on unlimited gameplay that doesn't play online or any of that stuff. It frightens me to tears. And I think it's probably a lot of the reasons we have gone down some of the roads that we've gone down, especially with gameplay, is maybe that feedback is coming from the wrong people. But we know who the right people are. We know who they are.
Yeah.
We need to get a microphone in front of them and just listen to them, you know? Like, it's not difficult.
I mean, to go back to Josh's point a minute ago, I think it is a lot of like, add something, but then that means that something has to be taken away. Like, I think the recipe and the formula is there, and it's been shown over the years. You know, they've done so much right. If they just put more than like one thing at a time in, I think we're all good. And like, go back to your original question here on this one of like LeBron or the trophy case, what hurts the most? The trophy case is like a 600-hour grind, because I was like one of the first ones to get it. That stings. But the LeBron, like, I was so excited for I wasn't excited for myself. I was excited for like the community to see like how hype everyone was going to be. Now, I put out there the ideas to a couple of people, like, you know, put Emerald LeBrons out there, Sapphire, Ruby ones, like progress his career through the different tiers of his different, you know, teams, and then have like 15 versions locking for an Opal. Everybody would have liked that. Yeah, everybody in some regard would have liked one of those cards.
Or what if we start with an Emerald and just like evoed it up to like a Opal or something?
Even something like that, yeah. I mean, again, they've done that before with Westbrook. They've shown that they can do that. So to drop the hot badges, and you know, Matt said there were limited time. There were 48 hours. That was it, and that was when everybody was banned. That was literally like,
it was spiteful almost.
32 hours of that 48 people were banned. Like, it just looks so bad.
It left a bad taste. I think
it really did. Yeah,
it was a weird time, right? Because when you were unbanned, it was almost like, you know, if you didn't get banned, you still felt like kind of weird.
You felt guilty.
Yeah.
Even though you hadn't done anything wrong, but like,
rewarded while other people were being punished, which is just not really a great headspace to be in when you load up a video game. Like, we got stellar odds, and I pulled the whole set for 400k W, and then I was like, right, I got half badges, and then you go on Twitter, and it's like, F2K.
The next week it's back to normal with the pack on.
No, what I just say earlier, consistency. I mean, come on, man. We all know what it is with this stellar pack, which was so brilliant. It was amazing. It was great to see with the 10%. Hold on. With the 10% opals, that was amazing. However, it was still a dud, because there was people that were banned that missed out, and then they go back the very next promo and bring back the odds to 8%, basically bringing that name back, spiting the ones that were banned. It is almost egregious just to see. You know, it seems like that they were just basically planning that for a reason, just to harm. I hate to say it like that, but it is what it is. It was almost brutal in nature. And now when we go back and we see the 8% for opals and the less than 2% for dark matters, and now the 27%, the only thing that changed on odds, by the way, the 27% for pink diamonds is jacked up. I mean, come on, let the whole player base, banned or not, receive the same odds as stellar, 10% or even higher. You know, do us a favor. A lot of people pulled a lot of boxes, a lot of VC, and still have not pulled a opal. That right there is wild. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed, literally blessed to get dark matter. What was you gonna say, Josh?
Yeah, it's like with doing stuff like that, you're creating division in the community.
Yeah, and
it's like that's the last thing that this community needs. I think we don't need any more division than there already is. Yes. That we have like right now. And I feel like doing that, it is like a guilty thing. It's like, oh, you know, I'm enjoying pulling these packs. And then you don't see anybody else having the same reaction. When you know for a fact, if everyone wasn't banned around that time, it would have been nothing but positive feedback down the timeline. That would have helped the auction house like
Josh,
a
did you
long
have survivor's remorse? Because I had people in my chat saying they went bad. They said,
Survivor's
yeah,
remorse.
literally, that's
Wild.
exactly what.
That's
That's
wild.
crazy,
wild.
isn't it?
survivor remorse.
Survivor's remorse.
I wouldn't call it survivor remorse, but I felt bad for everyone else who missed out on it, though. I did.
It
feel
was
bad.
awkward. It was just awkward. There was just
Yeah.
what you said there, Josh. Hit the nail on the head. Like if they'd done this when everyone was playing, it would have been gassed, right? And I think what's interesting is if they kept it going after the bans, it still would have been gassed. I think everyone still would have felt good about it. What Matt said. The fact that they chose to do it and take it away. I said this before the fact, right? I literally said this when the Stellar Packs dropped. I said the only way this can be an L is if they take it away. I literally said that on the podcast.
Exactly.
Very next week.
Exactly what happened.
The fact that they did that.
Scenario where they would have given us the people who weren't banned. This is the only scenario where they could have given us something and then taken it away.
It was a sucker move. I'm sorry.
We didn't. Don't give it to us in the first place because now you've rewarded us and then punished us.
You've shown us what you can do. You've shown us the light, and like even yesterday's packs were even worse odds because now we've got these troll base set 2 cards in there. You've got opals in there, which are now in that 8% odd of opals. So like the odds of pulling a card from the set are worse. Now we've got the base set in there, so that's why again, if they were just in the token market, then that's not a problem. But now you could pull an opal and you get LeBron with 2.
Is there opal base set cards like in the packs? I thought they were.
Yeah. They're like pink diamonds in there as well. Diamonds.
I think
pink
Jokic
diamonds,
too,
opals.
right?
Yeah, Giannis, Jokic,
and
the first
LeBron,
the first Dark Matter I pulled
Luka's
last
open
year
as well,
was a dynamic ratings Kevin Durant, and I was about to have a mental
That's a
break.
The
dynamic
fact that you can
ratings.
remember that tells me how much it scarred you.
Yes, it scarred me so badly. I finally had pulled the Dark Matter, and then I see dynamic ratings Durant pull up, and I was so mad. That's
why they've done it with the Series 2 stuff, and it's just like, they don't need to do what they did previously. Like, yeah, it's what they've done in previous years, but they set a different precedent this year, and then Uno reverse card it, and back to where we were.
Uno reverse. That's powerful.
So we jump back into. So this is like, we've gone down a road here. We haven't gone down a road. but I don't think the tone of this podcast should be overtly negative. And here's the reason, right? I think the thing that has been requested more than anything else this year is game mode cards back. I do believe that. I don't think anything has been requested more. And we got them like yesterday. So I think we should like at least attempt to kind of indulge in this W. Because yes, there's RNG cards, but also there is Alex English, there's Lou Hudson, there's Rich Caban, Nate Thurman. These are cards that we can play, grind, and get. And they're good.
I must say this now because I've been critical today as I'm not going to lie to you as you see me here guys in the pod, and normally I'm singing all the praises, but you cannot help but notice certain things. With that being said, 2K is a dub. They are really trying. I've said this once, I'm gonna say it again. They really are trying to do greater things, institute new cards. They're really trying to make some type of content, and I really believe in season 5. As much as I don't like Hero, I believe in what they're doing. Okay, I'm just saying all we need is a little bit of consistency. Lose you a while. I heard you.
Right. I'm happy with season 5 as a whole. Like the big thing for me mainly was just, like I said, just seeing people stream again. Cause it was like a few weeks ago, it was so dead on Twitch. You don't see nobody streaming the game. Nobody wants to load up. The fact that people have something to load up and play, I love to see it, man. Like seeing the community.
Josh, I'm
like
gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't think I could have watched another stream of someone trying to get 25 rebounds in a fundamental challenge. Yeah, it's just nice. It's just nice to see people playing game modes organically,
even co-op
they want to use. Just normal stuff. And I think that's the big thing that this has done. And Josh absolutely hit the nail on the head. There was a period, like I think it was like 10 days ago. This is post bans, by the way. There was 6 hours in primetime Twitch that no one streamed my team.
Right.
There wasn't one streamer on. And I was like, sheesh, I've never seen that before. I've never gone to Twitch and not seen a my team live unless it's a stupid hour. But 6 hours, man, no one was on. And the last couple of days, it's been a vibe on Twitch. Like, JD streams have been great as well on Facebook, and it was been streaming on YouTube. But there is something about these RNG cards. Love it or hate it, there's something about these cards that just do generate a buzz. It gets people talking, whether it's good or bad. It gets people talking, which I think at the end of the day is just good for the mode. Like I think we're looking back. We keep saying Splash played 2,000 games to get Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Ty played so many games and couldn't even get him for the 250k finals. Like, he physically couldn't get the best card in the game for a $250,000 tournament. Like, it's never been worse than that. But I think even he would look back on it, like, as a content creator and everything else. It's like, just the time that we remember. No one's going to remember the Russell Westbrook grind in a year.
Right.
We might look back at these cards and remember them. And I think it's that excitement. Is it ideal? No. You could argue, should it be the thing we're ever excited about? Probably not. The fact that we can't get a card. But there is something about that chase that just brings an energy. It brings an energy to content. It brings an energy to Twitter. It brings energy to the podcast. I think they know that. I think they know that as well. I think they know if they create these unattainable chases, or whatever, however you want to phrase them, that there is a buzz about it.
I think that's like the whole.
Is wild.
I think that's like the whole experience for gaming, though. Like the chase. Like, I don't know. I kind of like the challenge of having something to go after. Like, even if I don't get it, I'm gonna be frustrated. But like loading up like the perfect way to put it for me was like 2K20, like going 12-0. Although it was very limited in rewards, just that idea, like for me at least, like I wasn't able to go 12-0. So loading up every day, going for hours, trying to go 12-0. And like I'd be mad that I didn't do it, but the next day, all right, we're gonna try again. Just having that constant thing to chase, I feel like that constant high to chase is just like, I think that's the part of the gaming experience.
There's a point where you're having fun with it and forget that you're chasing, right? One of the worst feelings for me in this game is when I feel like I'm ticking boxes. Oh, load up this challenge, get a few rebounds. Load up this challenge, get a couple of steals. Cool, that's done. In 2 weeks, I'll give me a card for this, I guess. Like that's when I get like bored. That's when I get really bored and like not hugely motivated to turn the game on. You know, we were technically, you could say we were chasing that card for the last couple of days, right, Josh?
Yeah.
But what were we actually doing?
We were having fun playing co-op.
Yeah, that's what we
man.
were doing.
Like,
we weren't sitting there, you on your stream, looking depressed because you're trying to get, I don't know, 6 threes and a dunk, like, 6 times or whatever. I'm not sitting there just grinding offline challenges. I'm jumping on, the chat's getting involved. We've got people from our stream playing co-op with us. Like, it just becomes a whole different dynamic. I think this is so much better for the community than what it was 3 days ago. And I know, like, those 2-week grinds aren't guaranteed, and it seems to be the thing that people are hung up on. But guys, we haven't discussed the cards that are guaranteed, and there are a ton of them. And they're good. They're good cards.
Yeah.
These are some of the best rewards we've seen in a while. Let's talk about Alex English. 6-7 shooting guard, 10,900 points.
Mellow. Yeah. Mellow on
right
quick.
there.
Shooting guard small. He like 6'7". Yeah. And remember when he got his diamond.
Yeah, the diamond Alex English was nice back in the day. He had a little 3-pointer, but he could still smack those.
Didn't he have good defensive tendencies? His defensive tendencies are really good. So as an opal, like I'm pretty sure he has half glove. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure he would have that at this point.
I can tell you right now what he has.
Yeah.
He only has clamps of glove defensively.
And he's glove with that on-ball still tendency, that's enough for me.
On
half, right? Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Maybe I will get T-Mac in case I run into him.
He has clamp breaker handles for days. He has half quick first step. They gave him MIDI. They gave him amp, limitless takeoff, poster. He has everything you need. And it's a free. It's a grindable card.
His play
unlimited, right?
Amazing as well, by the way. Alex English's play build is amazing. Like he is a good card. He's a very good card. I would take that, even though DeMar got me Tim Thomas last season, right? From Unlimited. We know what we were going to get this season. We know we weren't getting a card that's going to lock in for Tim Thomas. We were going to get absolute trash. Like the worst opal you could think of was going to be at 6,000 points. I will take this.
It's not at 6,000 though. It's at 12,000 or 11,000. I think it's a long grind. It's like 25, 30 hours to get him just to play Democrats Advocate. I'm not doing like I looked at it and I was like chill, but like that's so many hours. 6,000 points is the Pink Diamond Lamar Odom.
But there's
but do you think it takes longer?
To get Bantam along the way though.
Wait, JD, can I ask you a question? What took longer?
True.
But JD, what took longer? Last year's, like the way they ran Unlimited last year to get that card, or this year to get that Alex English? Which one was longer?
Well, last year was 53 wins towards the end.
It's about
and you couldn't lose a certain amount of games either. You couldn't lose a certain amount of games. This one
last year
matter.
you had the pressure. Yeah, last year you had the pressure. This time you can just play to win. But like last year was too long, which is why it got changed a little bit. This year to 6,000 points, but I mean it is what it is. Alex English is a great card for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, Unlimited this year, the structure of it is. I mean, come on, it's infinitely better than it's ever been before. in that sense, from just being able to play, encouraging more types of players to go into there and mix it up. The reward thing.
Do you remember what it was like before the points buff? Do you remember how amazing it was? Season 1.
Yeah, man.
People don't realize it was nerfed by like 30 to 40% at one point. They nerfed it heavy, and then they went back slightly. Yeah,
it was blissful, But and the reward thing it's interesting, man, and the consistency thing is interesting as well, because this whole year of my team has felt kind of like a poorly edited YouTube video where you just kind of like jarred by like
the analogy was amazing. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you're constantly like being snapped out of like the flow of things, and that's them trying to mix it up, but in a kind of weird way. And I mean, they can't be like totally consistent. You can't just give us the same structure throughout the whole year. That would be mindlessly boring, Yeah. You have to introduce things. You have to try new things. The trophy case grind, at the end of the day, we're all kind of like, bro, that wasn't worth it, primarily because of Larry Bird. But it was a brand new concept that, you got to give him credit for changing up the whole, like very early on in my team, it was like, whoa, this feels like a totally new experience. But there is something, there's a host of little tiny things that added up together just make it feel jarring. And I don't know, I wish I could just like pick the brain of whoever's like kind of in charge of curating that and like figure out what they're trying to do. It's like a story with no like overall theme, behind it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that was a debacle. The puzzle with no puzzle. I mean, that's what it was. We was going after legendary moments, elite franchise accolade. I still don't know what that is. Does anybody in here know? Comment section. Do y'all know what that is?
We completed it and still don't know what it is.
But I still have to go back to your picture, Elevate. I still had to check that. I completed the trophy case and I still didn't know where everything was. So
Mo, I'm gonna have T Smalls. I'm gonna have him fax you a paper copy of that trophy case.
Yeah, the fact that he went analog is nuts. Bro, the guy was streaming from Windows 95 the other day. This guy is like top boomer in our community. Other cards?
You're a top boomer.
Other cards.
Other cards, Nate Thurman with Joe Harris on quick. The only thing is his 3-ball's low, but it's not too bad because we had a card like Kareem with a worse jump shot and you was greening with him. So I think Nate Thurman to me is like a slightly better Willis Reed that we got last season. I mean,
they could have put it at a 70 though. Like they got JaVale McGee shooting heavier than Nate Thurman out here. Like it could have at least been a 70. I'll say that. Just a little update. They gave him.
Yeah,
but fine. Nate Thurman's cool. I like Nate Thurman. Usually he has the sickest receding hairline in the game, so I'm always down for that.
The thing is, even if you think Nate Thurman's trash, he's still the best clutch time online reward we've got this year.
Yeah, I mean that's not exactly like something to gas, but yeah, I mean you're right.
No lies.
Yeah, I mean
that's the thing though, Jazz. Like all these cards are serviceable in some type of way. I mean they're not that bad. I mean some of them are not the greatest, but they're still serviceable. I'm still wondering about this Matherin. Because if you know about the Evo Matherin, you're gonna love this card. It was so good they didn't even have to change the shot up. I think it's still math on quick, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? So
even his dribble saves, like, and I know some people make the argument when he comes out, he's gonna be outdated. That may be true, but literally, if you look at his dribble sigs and everything, there's no way they could have made this card better. Like
I'm not
he's
gonna
literally
hold
as
you.
Good as this card could be.
Bro, I'm not going to hold you and anybody else watching it. He's still going to be really, really nice when he drops. I mean, Matherin,
I think top 10 in his position still.
Yeah, he's cold. I don't know about top 10. You said
top 10
6 weeks.
In the shooting guard, I don't know.
In 6
what
weeks?
other shoot? What? No. Seriously though,
that.
what other shooting guards could they really drop at this point though?
I mean, we just
isn't his jump shot
the best jumper in the game, bro?
But wait,
isn't anybody?
Isn't Matherin one of the best jumpers in the game? Or am I bugging on quick? Is that
He's good. No, it's really good. I mean, it's so good that it's still the same. I mean, if you put it on very quick, it's going to be, I mean, unbelievable. Like,
it might be too quick. I don't think
too snappy. Yeah. But
I think you could still make the argument, like lower top 10.
Okay, so I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 little rewards of season 5. And all in all, I must say, from Monte to Sweet Lou Hudson to Billy Knight, Mike Bantam, all of them, it's really a dub. They're again 2K. I'll say this: they're trying. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they was doing with the Bimbo Coles, but hey, you know what? I'm going for Bimbo. They trying.
Hey, Bimbo's cracked, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
It's word on the street. That's word on the street. Is Bimbo is that guy, bro?
No, Bimbo's not.
Bimbo, he
He
got a
is that
95
Ruby.
speed for a Ruby.
He's
He's a Kemba clone. He's literally a
Walker
Kemba
Collins
clone.
on quick. Yeah. So yeah.
Guys, as always with the first podcast of the season, the ultimate afterthought in this game. We didn't even, I think we easily could have ended this podcast and no one would have even noticed that we did mention level 40. Level 40 is dead, man. What has happened to this concept?
It's to be expected at this point, isn't it? But it
Yeah.
is sad that it's just expected. Like, we saw it was announced Tyler Hero, and we knew what it was going to be. It was exactly how we thought it was going to be. And then everyone was like, well, cool, T-Mac's here now. And we've already got Vince, and we've already got all these other cards that you'd rather run instead of Tyler Hero. And then we're going to have more released over the next couple of weeks. So they make it so easy. You can get Tyler Hero right now. I don't think anybody's got him right now because you have to complete Domination and spend millions of MT to lock him. But you can get him already by the end of the season. Some dude last season finished with 700k XP. Like, that's some wild stuff.
Yeah, get off the game, kid, bro. If you
that's crazy. But like, that shows how much XP's out there. They'll continue to do that. It's a card for everybody, and it's not that exciting. But I think that's just the reality of it now.
I don't mind it from what you're talking about. Like, as a card for everybody to get who just played the game, I don't think it's really that bad that the cards haven't been great. I mean, I would like them to be better as a Sweat Lord, but like, realistically,
as a Sweat Lord,
yeah, I mean, as a no lifer on the game.
He just promoted himself.
Well, nah, man. I mean, it's whatever. Anyways,
congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, I guess congratulations are in order.
Maybe you'll get a card now. Maybe that's what you needed.
Yeah. My life rules. Anyways, it is what it is. I think it's fine. Like, if they make them the way they are with XP being so abundant that realistically anyone who puts in 20-30 hours onto this game can get the card. I think it's been a little restrictive in the past, so I don't think it's a bad thing, but I wish they would make the cards a little bit better. Also, can you stop releasing a card the same day as level 40 that's like just better? Like, you did it with J.R. Smith and Zach LaVine. Everyone was better than Trae Young. Trae Young's just trash, so I guess it's like a positive. But like, with Hero, man, you released Hero and he's not even better than cards that came out last season, so that kind of sucks. But the overall concept is fine. I really don't care.
I mean, they released LaVine at small forward, and he was beaten by a card that came out in November. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just done. Go on, Josh. You had your hand up for ages now. I feel bad.
That's COVID.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say, like, with the level 40, the reason why I feel like the cards aren't like really worth it anymore per se, or like just not that good. I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you ever see that picture where it's like each level 40 reward for the year? Like, kind of like
the
silhouettes.
The silhouettes of them. I don't like how they already chose the level 40 like before like the game even dropped, because it's like I feel like they should let the game progress like throughout the season. It's like, okay, this would be a nice level 40 card. Because like, I don't know, like seeing Tyler Hero's like, why the hell would I want Tyler Hero as a level 40? Like, what's gonna make me want to?
You gotta get that private white school demographic riled up.
Nah, bro, nobody. I don't think
the suburban
demographic. Yeah, you gotta rile them up.
I don't think they're gonna be playing 2K.
Where Jack Harlow at?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Trust me, you would be surprised what the private school kids would do to rock Tyler Hero.
Oh no. No. May I take a different approach with this? Okay. I know I came on the pod and mentioned and said that Hero to me was undesirable, but you know what? I mean, I'll say the best thing about him to me is his size up, which is Steve Francis size up. That's not what I want to say. Hero to me is literally outdated. He will be outdated by the season's end. But can I say this though? With the level 40 grind, as much as I want a OP card, as a lot of us want an OP card, it's kind of cool that it really isn't for this fact, okay? A lot of people, not a lot, some people rather, feel that the level 40 is good where it's at because you don't have to go through renting, card after card after card and go and have to pay for other cards to get the XP, and they rather grind for a reward such as a Bantam or Billy Knight, you know what I'm saying, instead of doing that, you know what I'm saying. I mean, that takes a lot. And also, people don't want to do like 5 layups 3 times. They don't want to get like 6 rebounds 3 times. They don't want to go through that grind, you know. And I
God,
get
that
it,
was
you
so
know what I'm
bad.
saying. There's different
I
approaches
can't
with
be
it.
bothered.
You know,
I can't
that's
be bothered anymore.
that's annoying, by the way. I just wanted to.
Yeah, I'll get level 40. This is the first
You
season
know.
I'm going to get level 40, but I promise you I will not grind for it.
Yeah, you can
just
get it
gonna-
organically if you play. You're gonna be able to get it.
He's
I
not
feel,
running.
right?
He's got a 6'3" wingspan. Are you kidding me? Play point guard. You want to try guard Ben
6'5",
Simmons? Get out of
6'3",
here.
yeah.
That's got the
Come on,
T-Rex arms.
6'3"
Man, hold
wingspan
on.
is crazy.
What'd you say, JD?
Look,
Elevate. It's you're non-meta. Does hero appeal to you?
No, man. I mean, he's an afterthought. It's not
Oh, shit.
it's not for anybody really like that's super invested. It's kind of like being able to get somebody that's serviceable at like a position if you have like nothing else, if you're not really into the mode, which is kind of, you know, I get it, but it sucks for us who like no life the game, you know.
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna. If Simulation have rejected your card, you're down bad. I saw Meech trying to gas Trae Young at one point. He even gave up. That was the first time I saw him give up on a card. This might be the next one.
Trae Young sucks.
Hell no.
I also want to just shout out, like, talking about the level 40 grind on the way there. I love the fact that Josh Hart got a card this season. I know you guys don't care because you're not a Knicks fan, but I literally made a video like 2 weeks ago, and I said in the video, I'm like, yo, I need a new Josh Hart card. Boom, we get a sapphire Josh Hart in that Knicks jersey, holding up the 3 sign. I'm like, okay, my guy Josh Hart got a card, so my Knicks 2022-2023 lineup.
Is this what you want me to be like when they gave me a gold Greg Oster tag? Is this the kind of mindset you want me to
Can he
have?
go to
Bro,
That's
all
not
this,
gonna
though?
happen.
Bro, but he's a limited, but you could use him in limited. Like, Josh Hart is a good limited card. Like, if you look at,
He is.
because Clamp Breaker, Clamps, he has corner specialist, handles for days, I believe. He's a good.
Are you
limited
done
card.
gassing up this trash card? We've got other ones.
I'm
To
not
get.
Josh, since you have pull, man, can you put in a good word for like a pink diamond Sean Livingston with like the fro or the cornrows,
Yes.
like
He's 6'7",
early
right?
Clipper?
Sean.
Yeah, we don't
I think
need
he'll
more
get a
tall
card.
point
He'll
guards
get a
right now.
card. Yeah, we
Give-
need.
give
We
him a
actually
card
need
in 2
more
weeks.
tall
His
point
ambi was
guards.
tough. His
He
ambi was
actually-
really tough.
He might get a pink diamond soon. Now that I think he might get a pink diamond soon, like a budget pink
You-
diamond. That might be
you
We
know
actually
something?
legitimately do need more tall point guards, though.
You might
Like
get,
it's
like a
bad.
Ron Harper. Can we get like a pink diamond Ron Harper, please?
We just did get one like 2 weeks ago, but he's
Guys,
kinda bad.
I'm so Hollywood now. I tell you what, we'll release some OurTeam packs next week. If everyone could just drop their request in the comments below, I'll make sure all of those cards are out.
Make sure
Tay-
RJ Barrett.
Tayshaun Prince,
But no,
please.
look,
Thank you.
I want a Knicks.
Please.
I want a Knicks Larry Johnson for Jazz. It has to be
Oh
Knicks
my
though.
God.
Larry Johnson
I
for
can request
Jazz.
my own cards, thank you.
And no, you're gonna get a Knicks Larry Johnson, and then we're gonna get a Dark Matter Star J Barrett. And I don't
That's
care.
the
what
one card I'm
everybody
going to make sure we don't get.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
man.
we'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm gonna strip that logo from you.
I'm gonna get a new Mellow, but just not one from the Knicks. Right. What?
That's the best one.
Guys, can we pivot real quick to gameplay?
Yeah.
Because
Oh God,
God.
that's not a quick pivot. What are you saying?
No, man.
and it's for a
It's been
very
2
specific
hours.
reason. So we typically do our wish list stuff like in June, July, like right before like the next game is going to be released, and like nothing can be implemented. Like early January is like the time to really like focus in on the issues and kind of brainstorm. Hey, what is it about this gameplay that doesn't work that we need it to work? So what do you guys feel about like why do you guys? A lot of you guys said I don't really enjoy gameplay this year. It's been way better in the past. Why? Like what is it about it? Like let's pinpoint it a little bit.
Let me answer that because I want to trigger you with my answer because I know I'm going to trigger you with my answer.
I feel like
Jazz
we're
is
about to
such
say
a
the
troll.
same thing.
Like you guys seen it.
I'm not trying to troll. This is
You just
my
said no.
actual
You
answer.
said you know it's gonna trigger him, and you're going
Yeah.
to. That's
Yeah.
what trolls
Would
do.
you want me to
Okay.
not answer the question?
Carry on.
Calm down, co-host Josh.
Ah,
Listen. I like my gameplay to be fun. Call me crazy. I like it to be fun. I don't want to sit there like working out angles and like sweating for 40 minutes just to get a shot off. Like I said, 2K22, man, I could move. Like I was having fun. I could hit shots from anywhere. Like I don't think it was like the biggest like sort of skill level game, if you know what I mean. Like most people could play pretty well. Whites would go in, things like that. But I'll take that 1,000 times over this. I just want to sit back, have a bit of fun, and like without getting to the point of exploits, cheese a little bit. You know what I mean? If I want to
Mhm.
dance around the perimeter and shoot, let me do that. Just let me do it. Don't put in a stamina system or adrenaline system that literally cuts me off at the knees at the one thing I want to do, and now I'm setting screens and trying to set double screens and setting screens for Josh and co-op. I can't be bothered, bro. This is not fun.
Most of my shots are catch and shoots and co-op. A lot of times you throwing dots. A lot of times it's you throwing dots.
And just the defense is just not effective enough. Like, why am I tipping 10 steals a game, bro? Like, why? If I got to that spot and I pressed steal at the exact time that I should have, why do I not get that steal 4, 5, 6 possessions in a row? When there's just you can just feel the scripting, you can feel the algo, you can feel it when it's going for you as well. By the way, I'm not just saying the other way, right? Like,
no, it's real.
It just feels like, and I think there's the worst actual thing about this gameplay is something I didn't know until 2 weeks ago, right? So I can't really talk about it because it's like an internal thing, but I learned something about jump shooting which just blew my mind that is a thing. Okay, like the mechanics that go into you greening a shot. You know how we've spent the whole year thinking, like, why does a shot feel different every time? The answer is because it's supposed to for some reason.
Mike Wang tweeted it, yeah. Mike Wang tweeted it out. You can talk about it. You can talk about it.
There's 4 different things. That impact a jumper. One of those things is who's on the floor. Are you kidding me, bro?
That's crazy.
Like, can we have some level of control?
Like the badges?
Exactly what he means. He means talking about if somebody has challenger, okay, that it will distort everything about the shot. Am I right about it, Jazz?
Yeah. It's just... we need to be more in control of what we're doing in the game.
That's
I've never
crazy
feel in control.
I want to add to that though. So it's 2 things I want to say. So one thing I want, like with gameplay, I want on-ball defense to come back as the main style of play. Like, I will play like lanes and all that. That's cool if that's gonna help me win. But I want, like, that was more competitive to me in a sense, like getting on the mic with my friends. All right, he got the ball, he's dribbling. If I got enough stick skills to stop him from dribbling, I want to be able to get the stop. I don't want to feel like I'm getting beat on defense because of the mechanics in the game. Like, oh no, you got to work extra hard on defense. I don't want that to be the case. And with the jump shot thing, I'm not mad about it. Like, I've been saying this from the beginning of the year. I always bring it back to like how I think about basketball in real life. Like, I don't think there's any NBA player who's shooting or releasing the ball the same way every single shot they take. I think, like, depending on the kind of shot you take, the type of night you having, who's in front of you. So that's why, for me personally, jump shooting isn't a big deal to me. But there is sometimes where it's just unnecessary. That's what I mean.
To learn 4 different jump shot timings for every player on the 40 jump shot timings.
Yeah,
is what we're being asked to learn to shoot
100%. How often do you green though? 400. How often do you green though? Because I feel like I feel like the reason I shoot a bad, I'm a flamethrower.
I'm shooting 45% in unlimited.
Yeah, I don't. That's not bad. Like, you could green open shots with your plays.
But I was shooting 70-80% last year.
Yeah, I was a flamethrower. I'm a flamethrower. I just throw up.
Mine wasn't meant to be a flex.
I don't care.
It was.
I don't care. I don't have to care about that. I'm a flamethrower.
This was what it was.
The issue with gameplay this year is I think last year, like, from an arcadey fun perspective, was very good. There was just a couple things that, like, were wrong. Like, the white percentage was too high. It just needed to be lowered by like 50% realistically.
Oh, for sure.
Whites should go in, by the way. Like, if you want a game that casuals can like have fun with, you need to have some whites go in. Okay, that's
much so? Like, what percentage?
Like, somewhere 25 to 50% of whites need to go in.
But there was a trade-off there. We traded those whites. We traded those whites for 60% contests being greened.
Yes. Well, the other issue with last year was they had jump shots that were legitimately broken that they just started putting into the game to sell packs. So like Luka and MJ were uncontestable. So there was game-breaking things last year. Altogether, I think like there's not a lot of game-breaking mechanics this year.
Yeah,
like,
that is true.
There really isn't, and I think that's good from a gameplay perspective. I just really think the issues are the jump shot timing, like you said, which if it was implemented correctly, I think would have been just fine. It's just or explained at all would have also helped. Just a tiny explanation. That's why they need a social media manager. Please, somebody go do it for the love of God. Mike Wang just tweets on his personal time about things. That's about as close as we got. So that's great. If they just would have had some whites go in and maybe the jump shots were a little bit different this year, I think we'd all have a lot more fun. Like, I'll be honest, I had a blast the other day. They can talk about how they didn't hotfix current gen. They did. Okay, they put in a hot fix on current gen. I was out here splashing heavies like crazy. I was having a blast. And then they hot fixed it again. And now it's still better, but it's not as good anymore.
You think it's fun hitting heavies?
I think it's fun just hitting shots in general because this entire year it's just been nothing but dudes pump faking under the basket.
But we did nothing for 2 days other than hit heavies in TTO. Come on, man.
We were not hitting that many heavies. We were not hitting that many.
No, we were. Right guy was hitting a heavy every shot with Ray Allen, bro.
Now, that's my question though, I guess, is to everyone, like Elevate's question was like, what can they do to even improve the gameplay? I think the gameplay as it is right now is fine. Like, not in its current state, but it's like core concept is fine. There's really no exploits outside of stiff arm dunking, so obviously they need to figure that out in some capacity. I'm not going to pretend to know how they would do that. They just need to make it a slight turn to arcadey mode, like just a little arcade. Just take the arcade dial and just turn it up just a little bit, just a tiny little bit, so like I can shoot, you know, stupid fade shots occasionally, like that actually go in on current.
I agree.
Because they can't.
They don't need to turn it into NBA Jam, but we need a little bit more flexibility.
It doesn't need to be NBA ballers, but like, you know,
something. Well, here's the thing also to me, and I'm glad Lude said what he said, but the pacing to me and to a lot of people feel off. It feels off. You playing tug of war for 3 quarters and unlimited, maybe even 4 quarters, going back and forth with algo and then against your opponent. That right there is what gets me. And then on critical in those and comment section, you know what I'm talking about. In those critical moments where you need to play, something shifts and you can just, like as Jazz said, feel it. You know, you notice something's off. And that's the issue for me, you know. Lutz is right about the gameplay. I like what they're doing gameplay wise, and I see what they're doing. However, when you got 40 load ups and you have other intricacies, and then when they implement other animations within the game, it feels like a completely new game. For a lot of people, I've heard this, that post-ban, the gameplay felt really off compared to pre-ban. And I see what it is. A lot of people don't feel good on defense. They feel like they're sliding on defense, and then on offense, they're just flopping everywhere else. I mean, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I've become very 50 with my shooting. So, way more in the last sort of couple of weeks than I was before that. So something's off. I want to hear JD's thoughts on this, and then I'm going to let Elevate kind of cap because he started it off. But JD, I know you hate the gameplay. Yeah, I've seen your tweets. I can play 5 minutes and then I'm cooked.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, it's what Matt just said there. It's the back and forth. I played one game today and it was like that. It was tie game up until the 3rd quarter. I knew I was better than the guy, and then boom, I win by 20 in the 4th quarter. But it's just like those little things, like you said about the steals, pressing square doesn't go your way. Rebounds as well, like you see somebody get locked in an animation, you know they're going to get a rebound, you're boxing them out and everything, and they just climb over your back, push you to the ground, stomp on your face, and then get a rebound after that. JD, so it's the little things like that.
You should have seen me and Jazz on co-op. I kid you not, the whole team blocks this guy, we all jump for the rebound, he somehow ends up with the ball, probably 3 possessions like that, and he kicks, bro. Literally, he's on the floor dusting himself off, tying his sneakers, wiping the bottom of his sneakers, and he gets up and gets the rebound. I don't know how.
He was wiping KG's nuts off his face, man, after that block. That's what happened.
Bro, he got blocked from the entire team, bro. It was crazy, bro. And he still gets the I know. I feel your pain with the rebounding, bro.
I think it's just those things. Like Lou said, there's nothing like game breaking in terms of like Curry slide being mad this year or a tween or anything like that. I think it's just more like the fundamental side of things. It is like just pressing a button and getting what you get from that button, and the spiking when they're taking a jump shot. Just feeling like in control of it. That's the main gripe that I have with it, and that's why I played one game today. It was that game that went back and forth, and then I was like, I'm gonna go back to the auction house.
It's the most frustrating thing is what you said, JD. Is that game where you go on a 20-point swing in the 4th quarter. It happens way too often. Like for me, I've got to a point now where I load up and I see it. I'll start giving away an and one on every possession. 3-point foul. My players are dropping steals as if they've like got butter on their hands. You can see it all going. You know your opponent's not very good at the game. And I literally am like that now. I just sit there and wait. That's the feeling. For 20 minutes of that game, I'm just sitting there and I'm literally like, I know what's going to happen in the 4th quarter. I know I've won this game. Why have we got to go through this for 3 quarters to get there? Like, it's insufferable. It's insufferable at times. Definitely See, people say 21 current gen was the worst gameplay ever, right? Because of the speed burst. And I've always been unanimous.
I
with
would
it.
agree.
I had the most
Yeah.
fun in that game. I'm not gonna lie, speed bursting around screens.
I
Not
think
gonna lie.
the gameplay is more fun this year, but it only feels more fun because of game modes like clutch time, co-op, things like that. Or I can have fun
Fast-paced
with the
game
gameplay.
modes. Like
Yeah.
fast-paced game modes.
When it comes to a 40 or 30 minutes of playing unlimited, I'm tucked after one game. I can't deal with it for extended periods of time. And I see it everywhere. I think most people feel like this.
It's mentally exhausting.
And
I just
also,
need to-
2K are aware of it. That's the other thing I should point out. I don't know if the survey's gone out yet or whatever, and I don't know if I'm breaking, NDAs or whatever right now, but they're aware of unlimited being an issue. And I know one of the things that they've talked about is reducing the games, like the time.
It is in the survey. You're good.
Yeah.
I did the survey. Yeah, there's a question that says like, what would you prefer? And it's like better rewards or shorter games or something like that. I was like, shorter games, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30 minutes. And that's why so many people like find it so
Real.
insufferable, is because you have it such a long period of time, everything gets exacerbated over that because you see the problem so much. It's like clutch time's so like palatable because it's like 5 minutes. It goes wrong. It can't
Can I
be
ask
too
you
much
guys-
that goes on in
Yeah.
5 minutes, but
And also
Can I ask you
turn the
guys a
time.
question?
Hold on, real quick, and turn the time meter. Sorry, Josh. Turn the time
Mhm.
meter in unlimited to like in quals to like a minute or 2 minutes, and to avoid griefing. I'm sick and tired of all the griefing that's been happening.
I've put it
pause
as well.
timers, yeah.
And I'm sick of tired of good people coming to me. And a few in this podcast is talking about all the toxicity online. I get it, you know what I'm saying? We've all been toxic, in some ways, but when you go and basically go out your way to say different slurs or epithets or anything like that, man, you got a problem. Get the hell up off
Right.
the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no
slurs
place for that.
aside, just
Yeah.
general toxicity. Are you listening, Josh? Co-host Josh?
Man, I'm
But you're
listening.
throwing shade at our opponents. You're throwing shade at me. Like, I think there was one point you're having a round with your family. Like, what are we doing, bro? You are the
Yeah.
most toxic person.
Yeah.
Ever played this game.
My bad, Josh. My bad.
No, you good. I just want to ask a question. Like, speaking of like shorter game lengths, do you think if they shorten like 5v5 game modes across my team, do you think domination would be somewhat more tolerable?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Infinitely more tolerable. if
Dom
they shortened
should
it to,
go
like,
to 3
3-minute
minutes, and then
quarters.
unlimited should be about 4 minutes because that's what
Yeah,
Quals is
Dom-
like.
And they
Quals
need to
is
get
4
rid
mil,
of
4 minutes.
they
so-
need to get rid of the requirements that you have to win by a certain amount too, because it's
Yeah,
just
that is
so
just
annoying.
so annoying. I
Big
agree
facts.
with you, Blues, man. And you know what I do though? Like a little hack for anybody who grinds down. I know no one probably does. You put your best lineup out there. You put your defensive settings to a full court trap. You will be up 40 every game. It speeds up the CPU. They don't know how to make a read, so they're gonna throw it out of bounds or launch it 30 feet in the air, and they're gonna throw a turnover every time. That's how you
But here's
stop
the thing though, is like the people who grind domination or who would be more inclined to grind domination are people of a more casual demographic. So putting these win requirements in, I think just like alienates them from wanting to do it in the first place. And that's who would be enjoying these grinds. So it's just kind of questionable. I think
Yeah.
2K just kind of needs to understand, and I've said this for a while, they need to get on board with making the game fun as opposed to punishing people into continuously trying things. If you make a mode fun, people will play it for fun. If you make it punishing for the sake of being punishing, majority of the people who you were trying to lure to play that game mode are just going to leave in the first place. A good example of that would be the Galactic Spotlight Sims. Like, majority of the player base did not finish it. Majority of the player base is never going to finish it. Why? Not even necessarily that it's too hard, but it's just like the combination of difficulty and the combination of time is just punishing enough that most people aren't going to do it.
You know,
So
what?
it's like,
I
why?
I agree with you, Luce. I think it's the CPU difficulty because, like, bro, literally, I'm doing TT. So when I grind offline, I always go to TT offline first. Bro, I'm like, why is the CPU playing like this? And it's only on All-Star. I'm like, bro, are you like, they're making contested layups? They're mashing me. The CPU is stiff arming me. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, when did y'all have this level of play in you? Like, it's just
Yeah, the
ridiculous.
CPU was cracked. Guys, can
if
I throw
I
back to
can-
Elevate really quickly?
Yes.
Sorry, Liz. Let
Yeah.
me just throw back to Elevate really quickly because I want to, before we move, we're going to organically move on from the gameplay stuff. I just want to see what his thoughts were because he raised the question.
Okay, so I think there's 3 like legit broken aspects of 2K gameplay this year, and one of them is the clipping issues. I noticed it right away. It was like your hand going through the ball and ball going through your body.
Yeah.
That's a legitimately broken, like just broken mechanic. Two was like strength rating and post defense not mattering, so you could get backed into the post regardless of what the strength and weight ratings were, which contributed a lot to mashing. That was the culprit of like early mashing in the game, is you could just back down and get up there. And then the third one was like the aggressive contact poster dunks were just super easily to trigger. When you have a mechanic like the dunk meter, and it's worthless pretty much. I mean, that should be for two functions. It should be for like flashy dunks on the break or like contact poster dunks. Other types of regular dunks should be okay. You make it if you're open kind of, and it's easily contestable if you're not. So those are the three like broken mechanics. Everything else is kind of fine tuning, twisting things around. With the shooting, you could slide it around a little bit with sliders. So that's the broken aspect of the game mode. And then the other side of it, as far as like the fun versus the sim argument, I mean, I guess that's subjective. I think this game has like a crazy duality, because I've had some of the most fun, like just organically just satisfying games in this year's game, and I've also been frustrated to no end, and it just depends. So it's like a solid game, but super easy to break and just make you like freaking blow your brains out. Part of that is the way the algo is implemented. I mean, algo swings, like momentum swings, are part of basketball. You've played basketball, you feel it when you're playing in the game. I played in high school. You feel like those times when you can make anything and like the other team can't do anything. But the way it's implemented is just faulty. You see a lot with clipping.
Do we need a system to implement that? Because either we're greening or we're not, right? So either we're going on a run or we're not, right? Like I can have cold spots from my shooting. Like I feel like the momentum, although you're right, and it reminds me, because it's what Ronnie said to Splash after he lost the 250k final, was those exact words. Basketball was a game of runs, when Splash obviously felt like he got hoed by the algo basically. But shouldn't that be user? Shouldn't that be us getting hot or cold as opposed to a momentum? Hold on, Josh. Let me just tap it with that debate. Yeah, go on.
Well, I mean, I think that there has to be. I think if you have a game that's totally devoid of momentum swings, you're going to have a very dead feeling game. So you kind of need that a little bit to, but it's just the way that it's implemented, and to the extent that it's implemented is way too much.
I actually wanted to ask you a question, Elevate. So do you think if they remove momentum out the game, do you think at that point, well, actually, this is for everyone. If if algo is removed from the game, do you think the percentage of the skill gap increases? Because I feel like algo is what is separating the game from being like a skilled game. Because like you said, if it's on user, let's say I'm just having a really bad game and I can't miss everything. My opponent, he's hitting the right shots. He's taking his tools. Like, don't you think like if they take out algo out the game completely, it's a skill-based game?
Just before I throw back to Elevate, which I will, we had Smash on last week, who looked into the camera and spoke into my brain because he leaned into his microphone and said, even I'm not good enough to beat the algo. And he is the best player in the world. So I think that is the answer to that question. But Elevate, go ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with that. If you take it out, you're going to see like way more blowouts. You will see the skill in the game mechanics just separate people way more. And that is a part of it. But again, it's over the top where we all feel it and we're just like, okay, like I can't even do anything. Might as well just either sit through it, wait it out, or quit the game or whatever. And that's the frustrating aspect of it. It's just like you have no control. So it goes overboard.
Elevate, I've got one final question for you, and then I'm gonna throw it to a Patreon question and we'll probably tap out. But you prefer the sim style of play, right? You even said you'll even run theme teams like that. So you want the game to be as realistic as possible, yeah?
Correct.
When you load up into Unlimited and you load up in someone who's playing against someone who's playing pure meta, what's your feelings in that moment?
I mean, it depends the type of mindset I'm in. Sometimes I'm in a mindset where like, okay, I want to be able to beat that style like consistently using my style. So it's kind of a challenge thing, and I'm all for it. Other times I'm just kind of like, win or lose, I'm not having fun doing this. So it's frustrating, and I'll usually either go to some other mode or whatever. But like the sim, like there's a misconception to it. It's like, I don't want like, 80s super system oriented, like like you gotta call a play every single time down. You gotta like it's not about that. It's just about doing things that you would actually do on a basketball court. You know, so you playing like at the gym, open runs, whatever, is still basketball. And the type of game style and the flow that you have with that, whether it's more fast pace, more fast breaks, whatever, that's cool. What annoys me is like there's a mechanic we know that is exploitable. It's hard to deal with, and that's just spammed over and over until you get the result that you want. So that's frustrating. And in its essence, in like the most simplest form, game theory is paper, rock, scissors. You know, it's like one beats this, one beats that. So there's a balance thing. So if there's
that's a really interesting way to put that. Yeah. Good.
So if there's a way for them to establish that, and Josh talked about the on-ball defense, which I think is viable. I play on-ball defense probably 85% of the time. So it's viable, but you still know you're at a disadvantage. There's still things that you got to just kind of get lucky in, whether it's the algo. You know, if the algo's on your side, you're going to get the stop. If not, whatever. So there's a lot of factors that go into that. But I don't want a boring, like super boring game where it's like, walk it up the court, make a pass, wait for the play arts. Like that's not what it's about. You know what I mean?
You call that netball?
Yeah, that's what netball is. You don't even bounce the ball, just throw the ball. Okay, I have a question from one of our patrons. Link is in the description, by the way. Go sign up. I've already told you once.
We got to fix this hole in my wall, guys. Just remember that. This is what it's for.
You're just going to make
the hashtag's crazy.
Hashtag fix my hole.
This is from Matt Bless who's from the Patreon. So I'm going to read it exactly how he wrote it. And JD, I'm going to throw to you to answer this, okay? So he said, can more be done to cause team variety in my team? Madden has theme teams that give players boosts if you've got enough for a theme team. Don't know what that means. This year, the show is adding in captains that will boost stats for players from the same team as captain. Other games have different, more competitive modes that utilize more cards that players wouldn't normally touch. Is there anything my team can do beyond what they already do with limited to encourage players to dig deeper into their binders for useful cards? So in a nutshell, how do we get people not just using the same cards, meta cards, etc., etc.? Like we just know what to expect.
Can I just explain the Madden thing before we kick it over to JD?
Sure.
Basically, what this means is you get a stat boost for using players that are from the same franchise. That's what that means. So if I'm running my entire offense, well, it's like a giant dynamic duo to a certain extent. So like if I'm using, let's say, 11 people on offense, if I'm using 11 Eagles players, I will get a +1 boost to a set list of attributes. So that's what he's talking about.
Cool beans. All right, JD, you got anything?
Well, yeah. I mean, all those get. I mean, that sounds good from that game. Obviously, FIFA have their chemistry system, so you can have nation links. So if you have like 3 people out of 11 from the same nation, they'll get a link from the same team. If it's just 2 players from the same team from the same league. So, and you mentioned the other games as well. So I think there's a lot of other options out there that they can just like take without having to like create anything new. I think set boosts for, glorified dynamic duos basically, but like really take them to a level where it's like, okay, this one card is great and I can make that even better now, but I'm gonna have to use this guy, or I could use this guy, or I could use this guy from a different country maybe, who's like the same thing, or like the same, works on the same position. So there's definitely ways you could do it. There was a lot of team variety at the start of the year with the trophy case stuff. It seems to have fallen off a little bit. You do see mostly, I see a lot of the same teams unlimited at this point. It's like Simmons, Yao, dark matter LeBron, dark matter Giannis. That's kind of the standard. Maybe more, if you put more cards in the game like that, we're already so far accelerated. We're in February and we've got these cards that are going to be around, that could be around for like, I mean, the dark matter LeBron, you can max out to 64 Hoff. He's got every Hoff in the game. That could be around until the end of the game. So if they drop more cards at that level, it will create more variety. But then they've obviously got to plan out the next 4 months of live content until we start the 2K24 training. So more boosts for like nations, conferences, teams, divisions, that sort of stuff would be sick. Boosting like badges or stats. I think that'd be a winner. I think that would be one of the ways to get it to happen.
For what it's worth,
it would help them quite a bit in power balancing too. It would allow them to power balance the game a little bit easier, because that's kind of what Madden uses it for, So they use it.
Sorry.
Oh, they use it to kind of help with the power creep, and that's something that 2K could do also. Because if they have all these attribute boosts, they can kind of slow down what they're putting out because they can put out cards that would fit certain attribute boosts. Like, let's say they're like, okay, if you use, I don't know, dude, 2 guys from Serbia, they can market that and they can send another guy out that normally they would have to juice up, but they wouldn't have to in this case. So it would help them in power creep too, and it would just be cool for gameplay.
Actually, that question from the Patreon, it actually made me also want to ask another question, kind of similar. How would you guys feel about like 2K implementing dynamic trios? Because in the NBA today, big threes is like a big thing within the NBA.
It should have happened. It should have happened
Yeah.
yesterday. Let me tell you, for somebody that loves triple threat, imagine running Pippen, Rodman, Scotty duo, or Warriors, Clay, Draymond, not even Draymond. Let's say the old school Clay, Steph, KD, or something like that, or just any random trio, Ostertag, with his whack self, Carmelo and Jeff Hornacek, or I'm sorry, Luz, I'm playing, I'm joking, just anything, you know what I'm saying? It would be a dub, you know what I'm saying? And if they do duos, they can do trios. I mean, at this point, they could have done it. I love Ostertag. I was joking, Luz, I love you.
Can I talk about dynamic ratings? Because I think it's just something it's something that could be done well, but never has been.
Yeah, like the show does it incredibly well.
Yeah, I feel like this is something that could be done incredibly well. We've just chosen never to do it, like in the game. Like, it just is what it is.
It would. It's not going to work. It would, but it's not going to work for what 2K needs to happen. Like, putting in the dynamic ratings hurts pack revenue. Like, let's be real. Let's call it how it is. That's the reality of the situation. So I don't know if they would ever implement that, because the show puts it in and it actively keeps people from opening packs.
Okay, but you think it would be a good thing, you just don't think it's something they would do?
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. I think we've wrapped, guys.
To touch on that real quick about the Matt's shout out Mblast, man. He's a staple pillar of my chat community.
Legend.
Shout out to him. And I run so many teams, so it seems like it would be like I'd be all for everything. But at the core of that, it's like that doesn't work if they're forcing us or giving us, some random boost if different animations and styles of play aren't like effective in their own way. So that's kind of like why we have like the meta lineups, is because Jordan dribble style is the best by like clear. This jump shot is the best by clear. There's not that many options. So when you get to that type of level or that type of point in the year where they're giving us all the meta sigs, like it's like that. They said they had like, I don't know what the number was, but so many new jump shots, and like how many of them are usable, so to speak. So it goes deeper than that, and it's also like matchmaking too. The matchmaking is crazy. So if you don't fix those underlying issues, like the boost and stuff will be irrelevant.
Real quick, I'm sorry, I know you're trying to wrap.
I'm desperately trying to wrap. It's been 2.5 hours. Let's go.
With the matchup thing, I don't agree, only for the simple fact, like I literally loaded up with the active Knicks roster, and I was getting like fair matchups, even though like I didn't play too many games of. I played a good amount of games of the limited, but the teams I was going against were evenly matched. Like they had like a pink diamond, an amethyst, and then like sapphire. So I don't think matchmaking would be a problem if they implemented dynamic trios. Okay, Jazz.
Yeah, no. I think I've wrapped. I just want to I want to end where we started. I know there's some rewards we didn't cover, Montelis and a few others. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But I want to sort of end where I started. I am actually happier now than I was last week with the game and how I'm approaching it. I would usually get off this call, and if you want to go back even a little bit further, right? If you go back 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, a bit longer, what I'd usually do when I get off a podcast is sit there editing, trying to get my limited ring, because I can only get it at the weekend, so I might as well do it while I'm editing. I've got half an hour to spare, so I might as well go and get these rebounds with this card. Or I might as well go get these steals. I might as well get Russell Westbrook, even though he's not going to play. That was kind of my attitude towards a lot of stuff for a lot of this year, and it wasn't the most exciting way to go about things. I'm probably going to play co-op with Josh while I'm editing, to be honest, on the watch back. If I get the card, if I don't get the card, my worst case scenario now is I have some fun because I'm playing a game mode. I want to play with some people that I like and Josh. And then
Yeah, whatever.
Got
Yeah,
to
whatever.
the end.
It becomes my
That's
best
messed
case
up.
scenario all of a sudden. And I just think that, you know, Luke said chasing the dragon, but I think chasing the carrot is really the phrase that we have been doing for a long time. I've said this so many times, we need a carrot to chase. And sometimes the enjoyment of this game is just the enjoying of the game. And like I said, it's hard with the gameplay this year, but it's a lot easier if you just choose to do the things you want to do, like not be a completionist about everything, try to block out the FOMO a little bit, get back to like the core gaming, you know, elements that made you game in the first place before you'd ever heard of 2K, you know, which was just having fun with your friends, loading up and just trying to have a positive experience for an hour instead of trying to grind out a card or a side quest or something that you just don't want to be doing. So I think the one big positive this year is you can play any mode and you might get one of the best 2 reward cards in the game. And I think that is an upside. For a 6-week season, I think that's an upside. I know I can load up at any point and I'm not playing aimlessly. I'm not playing mindlessly. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm going to have some fun playing the game mode and I might get rewarded for it as well with the card I actually want. So that's where I'm at. I think we're in a better place. I think the 2-week grinds will come back when they're necessary. I don't think they're necessary right now, if I'm being honest. And I think the game modes are, for the most part, if not rewarding, definitely more rewarding than they have been all year. So I think we're in a better place. Are we in a good place? Leave it in the comments. Right, outside of that, have you guys had a good time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was a really good podcast. I enjoyed this one.
Absolutely, guys.
It was
Thank
a
you
really
guys so
good
much
one.
for having me on, man. And you guys are doing amazing things as far as what defining community means. So shout out
Wait,
to
matter
all
of fact, hold up. While you here, Elevate, hold up. I just followed you on Twitch. Let me go drop you a sub right now. Let me give you a sub real quick, bro.
I mean,
y'all.
that
Oh,
is
man.
after the
Appreciate
podcast.
you, man.
Dubs to JD, man.
Let me drop you a sub real
Hold
quick.
on. Dubs to JD, man, and definitely dubs to Elevate up in here, man. It was really a great podcast. But I just want to say this, man, and I'm gonna leave on this note. I want to thank. I don't know how y'all feel in the comment section, but I want to bring this up because we kind of talked about it. I'm gonna shut up. The podcast has been such a uplifter for me because I've been going through some personal stuff with COVID and with a lot of things happening at home with health. If I'm not sick, somebody's sick. If they're not sick, my dog's sick. It's been something else. So I just want to tell you this: as much as y'all love the pod, I love the pod so much more. Not just because I'm on it, because of the support system. Jazz, CheapLudez, and KillaJosh have been, were there for me. I just had to, before I go anywhere else, I have to say this. Thank you for being there for me. I'm very grateful for you guys, and thank you all that have supported me throughout my issues. And it goes without saying, this podcast is such a dub. It's more than just a podcast; it's community. So, I'm
we
happy.
appreciate you, Matt. It's been good to have you back. It was a weird couple of weeks. I had to
say it. I just had to say that.
I appreciate it.
I had to get that off there.
Right, I'm going to get us out of here. Thank you, Elevate. I hope you enjoyed your debut, man. We're looking forward to getting you back on soon. Some really insightful topics. JD, I guess we'll see you next season. Ludes, thanks for talking about Osa Tag again 30 different times.
Hey, give me a card and I'll stop.
From me and co-host Josh, we'll see you next week.
Peace, y'all. Easy.
Co-host Josh is the damn best.